Hello, and welcome to the Old Farm Bus Podcast. This is the back of the bus session.
This episode is in loving memory of Angela Marshall.
Hello and welcome to the Old Farm Bus Back at the Bus Sessions podcast. Today I'm absolutely buzzing for this because these two lads that I've got on are my new mates. We're going to do lots of things together. I'm genuinely buzzing for it because you've got so much energy. So I'm going to welcome straight aboard Fif Nova and Denzie.
Woo, 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 woo,
Oh, go lads.
Finally, bow. We're here, man.
I mean it. Nobody's brought this amount of energy on ever. I've done
This is going to be your most viewed video.
I hope so.
It is.
Come on, then.
It is.
Living it.
Wow. I should have brought my machine gun.
I know.
Oh boy. Do you like the podcast where they press a button and all the noise?
You need all the sound effects because it reminds me of sound system days, isn't it?
Yeah.
You need the sound effects, man. We need it. We need it.
It's cool.
I do vibe them. I think sometimes somebody gets a bit trigger happy.
Oh, yeah.
Like Westwood.
Yeah. Especially when it's new.
Back in the
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
So-
Was it Charlie Sloth who used to overdo
Yeah,
it?
both of
didn't
them.
So lads,
overdo it.
this is where I want to go with it. I want you to introduce yourselves properly because I knew I was going to hash it up if I was trying to describe who you are and what you do. So Fif Nova, I want you to start. Keep it to base level to start us off, and then we'll get into the meat of it, and then we'll go to Denzie and work from there. So who are you and what do you do, my brother?
Well, I'm known for, better known for rap music. Started rapping from when I was, I would say, 14, 15. Was in a couple of groups, you know what I'm saying? And, started off at a group called MOM, which was Minds of Mischief. Then went on to a group called SB, which is Smoke Some Blunts. Shout out to Smoke Some Blunts.
Boop, 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 boop.
And then just kind of from there, just evolved and just went off and did my own thing, kind of thing, respectfully, and that's what I'm better known for, if I'm known for anything.
Doing your own thing.
Yeah, just for doing my own thing, rap music. I suppose I've just got a name from that. So maybe the new school people don't really know who I am, but the real rappers do.
I've been checking it out.
Yeah.
The content you've sent me, and I'm genuinely breathtaking from some of it. Like we'll get into it, but the fire in the booth. That was special. That was really, really big.
Yeah, it was.
We'll dive down there.
Yeah.
Denzie, I've not had as much back and forth with you, mate. So
No,
tell
you've
me
not.
you and your story.
I
'cause I'm
am
enjoying
mostly
it.
known for singer-songwriter from Nottingham. Most recognised for I perform and co-wrote a garage track called I'm Sorry. Actually, it was an R&B track. So it was
Banger.
I Can See My Whole World Changing.
Banging.
Yeah.
There's no
You.
So I'm the original. I'm the original singer. Obviously, a lot of the youngsters will probably know the Joel Corey version, which is out now, which is kind of like that.
Listen,
like
the song,
dancey,
the
housey
song's
version
worldwide.
with Hayley May. Shout out to Joel Corey and Hayley May, by the way, because they did an amazing job with it. And you know what I mean? It's got me a platinum disc.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, I've not had any
So
platinum
shout
disc
out.
people
I just
on this
need to
podcast
send
yet.
a big shout out to everybody involved in that song. Nicky Dimples, so my cousin Nicky Dimples, Nicky Reed. So he started the idea of the song when we did it as an R&B tune. He did it, you know, and he was like, "Yo, Denzie, I've got these verses. I need you to bless it. We need some choruses and this, that, and the other." So I sat there, started coming up with little ideas and that, and then I came up with the hook. Then we had like an R&B tune produced by Fever, weirdly enough.
Thieves was the man of the mission.
Fever
Shout
did
out
like,
Thieves.
shout out to Thieves. So at that time we did a lot of stuff with Fever back in that day, and then that was just a track that garage was becoming quite big in Nottingham. So it was the scene was getting the right time. So my cousin Dicey, shout out to Damien Dice, he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna take you somewhere. I'm gonna take you to a nightclub." So I was like, "All right, cool." Got to this nightclub now. Went to Essence. Remember Essence, Sam?
Yeah.
Got to Essence now, and that's when I linked up with Dave. Big up Dave, and Dave had a label and a record shop. So went to the studio one day. Told him, "Yo, we've got this R&B tune that we're doing, yeah." So him and Sticks, shout out to Sticks. They were producing garage music, and they went by the name of Monster Boy. And so we kind of added some extra bits in the studio and made the garage version, and just took off, bro.
Bang on.
Just went
Worldwide.
just went off.
I'm
like, you know?
I'm getting a feeling you've got quite a lot of deep-rooted knowledge in music and on the whole.
Yeah.
I'm guessing any avenue we went down, if we went down the soul path, we went down hip-hop routes, but...
Bro, a lot of people don't even realise I started off as a rapper. I never even
Really?
used to sing.
That was it.
I never even used to
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, never even used to
didn't
sing.
even know that.
Just straight rapping.
I'll go over here first, because that's where my gut was taking me, but with the garage scene, can you sort of tell me the evolution of garage in the UK? What eras and dates are we talking here? When did it start really blossoming?
We're going way back. So you're
90s?
thinking when you think we kind of went through the whole. Oh
Sexy
God,
Guy-
I'm going to show a little bit of my age here. So we're talking back end of the 80s. You had like your hacienda type house.
Yeah.
Manchester scene was huge.
Yeah.
And then it kind of morphed into the old rave scene.
Jungle.
Yeah. Then there was jungle,
Then
drum and bass, and then
Garage.
garage kind of formed. I want to say, I'll probably get panned for the years, you know. I want to say 93 onwards.
Really?
No, I
93,
think you're right.
94.
Yeah, I was going to say that
93,
anyway.
94,
My
where probably the
birth date.
tentative. Yeah.
I'm showing my age.
Yeah, was coming in.
You're a baby.
Yeah.
What I will tell you, what sticks out for a golden era of that time of garage is 1995, because there's a lot of promotions and a lot of
Definitely.
and a lot of raves. Now that's called Back to 95,
Yeah,
and then you'll get a lot of the foundation DJs on there. You know,
What year did you come out? Sorry.
I was
No,
a
this
bit
is-
later
this
actually.
is what I want.
Sorry came out kind of wrote it. Bloody hell, we wrote it in 97. We wrote Sorry.
So you was in the
Yeah,
deep of
we
it.
wrote Sorry 97, and then we kind of
Just come back to the mic a little bit.
yeah, we kind of 97 we wrote it, and then I think we took it to Monster Boy 98, end of 98, and then that was all white labeled up come 99.
Who was pioneering it around 93s and so
question.
on? Then?
Okay, boy, right, you put me on the spot here, you know.
Pioneer.
Because we've established I'm quite young.
Yeah.
And my knowledge.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know a lot of the names because they're all London based. It was
Okay.
it was
Be
kind
hard
of
for you to
birthed.
say.
It would be hard for me to say.
You probably could only name like the popular.
My,
I could only
my,
possibly
Solid-
name. No, I'm talking like
Before
like
then?
producer wise.
right.
I'm talking
Producer
like
wise.
your Wookiees and your kind of your DJs like your Mac Jack Lamonts and
Yeah.
you know we're going way back, possibly even before Spoonie and them,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But I know those guys have been around for forever. You know what I mean?
What about the
Dream Team and
MCs?
stuff. MCs are the same, man. The MCs, there's always been an MC culture within garage. So there's always, if you like, the host of the party. You know.
I don't know
So-
how true this is. Just because
Go
I
on.
was reading Mike Skinner's book, and apparently hip hop was really ripe in America at the time, as you can imagine. It was very like conscious lyricism, and garage was really ripe in the UK.
Yeah.
And there was people like Dizzy and Skinner and so on that took the conscious lyricism from America, really enjoyed what they were doing, and then implemented it into garage.
In a way.
And that's what sort of really accelerated the garage scene from the
think that's
MCs
kinda
at
true
that era.
because
Or is that
That's where it started.
Is that a bit
to kind
later?
Of,
Well,
I would
America-
say that's where it kind of started to morph into grime.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
because
see what you're saying.
we've
I
you
see
got to
what-
remember with all, the English UK where we're from, it is we've always looked at Americans as the ones kind of thing, and do you know what I'm saying? We always idolize the Americans
Of
from
course,
movies,
their influence,
to rap music and stuff. So it would make sense that it did kind of influence.
Yeah, they
from
did
there.
because when you think about it, when I used to go to garage raves, like early garage raves, it was very much the lyrics were very party.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Getting
Just
on
to get the people, just to get the people going, just to get the people going,
Vibing.
And then as the groups came into it, like your So Solids and your Roll Deeps and you know what I mean,
Right,
and you know, and those kind of guys there. That's when everyone started to showcase more their rapping skills over garage beats,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then it became too technical.
Yeah.
Right.
It became too a guy can't go to a party rave, and spit like a lyric about you know his hard times on the street for 32 bars. It's just not going to work.
No.
Yes, I get
Do you know what I
ya.
mean? It has
Yeah.
to be nice and short and sweet
yeah.
and you know and catchy. So then I think what you know, your Dizzies, your Wileys, your Skeptors, and all those guys. I think at their young age, when they was going to the garage raves, they probably seen that as an opportunity to go, do you know what? We can build on this and build a genre where we could spit.
Yes.
X amount of, you know what I mean? Your Hard Times rap and your this, that, and the other. Because we need, it's not just all about the party. You know what I'm saying? So we've got that in the garage, but now we need something a bit more harder, like what the Americans have got.
Yeah, true.
But we've got to make it ours. Do you know what I mean? Like in the UK. And I think that's where you started to see kind of the birth of grime from there onwards. And then grime just got bigger and bigger and bigger.
It's not really stopped, has it?
Hasn't.
Kept
And
going.
it's now, and this is the best thing about what's happening in the UK. When we was growing up, when you turned on the radio, it was an American artist instantly, 100%. All the time. And it was the Americans that dominated the charts.
Yes.
Even in the UK, if you was a like a R&B hip hop genre, you know what I mean. It would be dominated by the Americans. Now, dominated by the UK.
Yes.
100%.
The chart is and not even just our chart in the UK. Like the Americans are now fully aware of what's going on in the UK. They know who Stormzy is. They know who Gets is. They know who Giggs is. They know. Do you know? They know all the big artists that we have here in the UK. They know them as established artists now. You know what I mean? I think it's totally flipped on its head now.
It does.
In terms of the UK scene, music-wise, we're producing the best music.
Yes.
They are. They say that we've got the
100%.
best actors.
We have got the best.
Yeah,
I mean,
the
we're
Americans-
doing all right.
Yeah, they say that English are the best actors.
Who's your favourite?
It's got to be Idris, isn't it? English actor.
English.
Idris.
Tom Hardy.
He's-
Tom Hardy.
yeah.
I love
Hardy's
Idris
good.
though.
Very
Tom Hardy.
versatile.
Yeah.
Who's the guy that did Split?
James McAvoy.
James
Mac.
McAvoy.
Oh, dude.
Yeah,
He's
hard.
brilliant.
He's Irish.
Very,
Is he
very
a
versatile.
method actor?
I would say
I thought he
so.
was Scottish, bro.
You're right. He's Scottish. He's Scottish.
Okay,
He's one of them.
James
Respectfully,
McAvoy.
McAvoy.
Yeah.
All right, mate.
Powerful.
He started off in Shameless, I remember that.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, that was
He was
good,
a
wasn't it?
shame.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably till season 4 or 5.
I think so, yeah.
I'd definitely say he's a
done
method
all right for
Then he
actor.
ran
himself,
away.
Yeah.
Oh, James.
He was even. What was he?
Mate, he ran away to become an X-Man, though.
Yeah, you give him that.
Professor Xavier. Yeah,
I can't. What's that creature with the bottom half's like a horse and the top half?
Cyclo.
He was in. Is it Narnia? That was it. I remember.
Was he?
Yeah.
Was he?
I watched Narnia because I've got a 1-year-old, so I'm watching all the
see.
Disney
Okay.
stuff at the minute.
See.
But yeah,
He's
Narnia.
probably been in a lot of films anyway.
I
No,
just,
James McAvoy's
I love him.
brilliant.
He's got like
He's good.
which is why he's good in Split, but this switch in character where it can be really playful and fun, and then it's quite sinister
How many
and dark.
characters did he play in that film?
Dude,
10.
He played
I-
loads,
yeah,
didn't
kept
Girl, a
going.
woman, like,
he?
you know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Find
He played like his sister.
A character
well
and a
as it-
character as well.
Yeah.
Even that
Complex.
character's a complex character.
Yeah.
Lads,
crazy.
I want to do more podcasts with you already. I think we're like 15 minutes
Yeah,
in. I'm
yeah.
going, you're the best
Mate,
people.
we've not even scratched the
You're
surface.
brilliant humans.
You hear what you
Yeah,
said?
we've not even
I think-
scratched the surface.
For
Yeah.
yeah,
even scratched
you're
the
just
surface.
wicked.
You
humans.
said it.
You said
You're,
it.
you're cool as
You.
fuck.
This is
So-
you.
I would like to go here because it's the first one.
Yeah.
You two and your dynamic. Have you known each other for time?
Yes.
And sort of, there's a bit of an age gap, like 5 years.
Yeah.
I want to sort of hear the influences you've had on each other because you've clearly got a lot of musical knowledge together, but there's just a lot of wisdom there anyway.
The thing is we're
You
friends.
did know I rapped. You just said.
No, I didn't. I didn't know. Or did I?
You did.
Why?
Because, remember, years ago, bro, we did the thing, there was that talent thing at Marcus Garvey.
Do you know what?
And I had the
You're
two,
right.
I had the two,
No,
I
I remember the two girls in the back.
dancers. Yeah, of course
the
you
two-
did.
Yeah.
Everybody
And it was
remembers the
hard,
two
and I
gal
came
in
up
the
to you
back.
and told you. Do you know what? I'm so sorry.
Remember?
Yes.
That's how it started.
But I'm old
Right.
now. You know why I'm
Bro, we
forgetting?
was young then.
Bro,
man.
I'm
Was young.
40.
I think my brother.
Bro, listen
produced
to
that
me.
track, you know, that's weird.
Bro, listen. The only reason why I
Go on, break it down.
The reason why I forgot.
Yeah.
Because that track that you've done, the sorry.
Yeah.
It's so big.
It just, everything
It's
else gets
listen.
forgotten.
No, seriously. It's so big.
Yes, yeah.
And so good, and it's so and he's so talented
Yeah.
that you're not gonna think my man's a rapper. You're just gonna think he's a sick singer.
Yeah.
Weird.
But he's right.
Never
I
used-
remember when
yeah.
I was younger
Never
and he
used
was
to
at the
sing.
talent show
Yeah.
and he killed it. Like
Yeah,
seriously,
yeah.
he killed
I
it.
didn't win, but
You killed it.
I want to ask this because I want to go into the dynamic of you two and how you are as mates, and get into the nitty gritty bits.
Yeah.
Just going to that song that you did and it being such a big hit. What's it like writing something like that at the time and then the aftermath? Because obviously you hear a lot of people when they write a big heavy hitter, and then they slope off or whatever.
Yeah.
In
That's
truth.
a good question.
Is
It's always hard. Me and Nikki have this. We have this conversation all the time because we write songs. That's always going to be the yardstick. That song.
Yeah.
But it's weird because it's a song we probably wouldn't have normally wrote. We had an idea behind it, so there was. People always say, "Oh, was that true? Did you really sleep on your girlfriend's best mate?" It was actually a true story, but the other way round.
She did it. They did it. The
Yes,
Ah.
the female cheated on the guy, but then we was like, "This is a time where we're thinking now we need to make it appeal to the ladies, to women."
And it did.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was like saying, a lot of men won't come forward and say and admit that they'd be cheated on. But women say it all the time. Don't they?
Yeah.
You know, we cheated on me.
Men are the villains.
Sort of
So when
accolades
when it was written, when we turned it on its head, then we started to roll with that idea of making it about a guy that cheats on his girlfriend with her best friend.
Yeah.
Because I reckon that probably would have happened more times to women than it would have if it was the other way around. This kind of thing situation. So I thought that was genius by Nicky. He was like saying, "No, we need to switch it around." You know what I mean? Yeah. So and it worked. It worked. You know, and it appealed to a lot of. A lot of
how long
it's
did it take you
weird
to write?
because it's a song. It didn't take that long to write.
Really?
To be fair,
Just-
it's weird that it's a song about something awful.
Yeah.
But it
I was
becomes-
picturing that John
you know what I
Legend
mean?
song. Have you heard that one he
Which
wrote
one?
with Kanye West? And it's who is she? What's her name? You don't need to know about everything.
Yeah.
Have you heard that?
Yeah.
It's really upbeat, all in
Yeah.
a major key.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's about something again very taboo and
Yeah.
hard to touch.
But
I love it when artists will go there.
I
It's
think-
powerful.
I
Yeah,
think
why
that's
not?
why it works because it was a tune that was just kind of different from all the other
I think
stuff.
it's brave,
that
like
came
brave
out.
as well. When you
Yeah,
go,
it
when you
was.
go brave,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I think also when you get that, you know what? I don't care. I'm just gonna do it. It
And it's
kind
a
of
factor
works.
of life.
Yeah, and that's it.
People resonate with it. It's just they don't want to admit to it. They don't want to
Yeah.
discuss these topics that we all need to be sort of being truthful with.
When
Because
we
cheating,
Yeah.
particular, that happens a lot.
Yeah, of course.
And the more you approach it and put it into songs and put it into writing and put it into places, people will be able to pick it up and
Not close
talk
up.
about that. Conversations
and it
around
didn't take
it.
that long. It didn't take that long to write. It was probably longer when we kind of morphed it into the garage version because at that point we wanted to have like it became a different tune from the R&B tune. It became what it is, what you hear today. But yeah, we took a bit more time with that in the studio because we just thought, okay, we need a bit of an intro as well.
Yeah.
We need an intro to go into this big chorus that we've got and these verses that we've got written. So yeah, we sat down and we chopped that up.
That concept of how you're being perceived by other people and through audiences, because let's say Goldie Looking Chains, guns don't kill people, rappers do, and everyone knows it for that. I suppose when they see them then and approach them in the street or talk to them about that tune, do you not get a little bit tedious about it, or do you still to this day
do
find
you know
it
what?
quite...
I'll be honest with you. I'm more surprised when I go somewhere to do an event or do a gig, and there's people that are there that I'm like, yo, such and such is there. They know my song.
They go, oh, that's the tune. Oh, wow.
Yeah. You're
Because they won't know my
man.
face.
Yeah.
Remember, we never did a music video
Yeah.
to Sorry at
Right.
that time.
Why didn't you do a video?
You're
That's
brilliant.
a-
at
It's a
podcast.
good
You're
question,
a
though,
good
it
host.
is.
You're a
It's
very
a
good host.
Honestly, why? I'm not going to go into the ins
yes.
and out of it because
Yeah.
we'll be here all day.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's just like we were signed to a independent label,
Yeah.
and they had a certain budget. They had Z Bias on that label as well. Z Bias did Neighborhood. I Feel Good.
Yeah. Wow.
Neighborhood went out, and
Do you wish you'd have done a video?
yes,
Yeah.
Neighborhood went out, and they put a lot of that budget into Z Bias.
Right.
So we was told. And when it came round to us, we felt we had the bigger song. Spoonie was really championing the track at the time. Spoonie had a Sunday show. and he would do this thing where he had like a track called the 30-yarder,
Yeah.
where the 30-yarder was his track of the week. You know, he played our tune as his track of the week 4
Really?
weeks in a row.
4 weeks.
But you know what? I
He
think
was really, really like championing this.
I think you not doing a video added to
It
the
did.
mystery.
It did, and I'm
You know what I
glad.
mean? Yeah. It worked out regardless.
Excuse me. In a way, I'm kind of. I don't know how I would have been if we did a video, because we would have done a video. It would have been out there. Everybody would have seen my face,
Yeah.
and I'll be honest with you, as a Taurus and how we are.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
sometimes
we
how
are.
operate,
All Tauruses on this
don't
bus,
know how
people.
I would handle that level of fame. I don't know how I would handle it. I love, like now, it's like I can just move and be. I'm
Yeah.
so free. It's funny. Someday you might see me on the bus.
Yeah.
But then you might see me riding my Mercedes. So
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
I'm just about. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And
You like your
I
life.
like that mystery. And people say, why do you think that Sorry's lasted so long? Why is it still, it's like 20 odd years and it's like 22
question, though.
years
It's a
and
good
this, that, and the other.
question.
And it is because less is more. You don't see me everywhere.
Yeah,
You might hear
that's
my
true.
tune.
Don't know
But
who you are.
people are
Hey,
always
this
talk
is
about.
great artist advice. I hope there's young people
always
listening
talk,
to this. Cause...
People always
Yeah.
talk about the track because it's
Well,
like,
I know who you are now.
well,
yeah,
I've done other stuff before.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
fun
No,
boss.
but what I'm saying is I've done other stuff before, but it's
Yeah.
just like it's the mystique still around the track. It's like everyone knows this tune. Why do I know this tune? But
It's not just that. It's
no one
such a.
sings it. And I remember Riley Ritchie
Yeah.
was an actor.
Yeah.
Was it? I think he was in Game of Thrones. I'm not sure. I think he was anyway.
I think it was.
I watched
So
it.
Riley
yeah.
Ritchie, when he did a cover version of Sorry on Trevor Nelson's show, he did like a rock version of it.
Oh, cool.
He started off like a garage, and then he kind of went into this, morphed into this rock version.
Sick.
And when Trevor asked him why he picked this tune, he said exactly that. He says, "This tune, I've grew up on this song." He says, "My aunties knew it,
Yeah.
and this, that, and the other, but I could never tell you who the guy is that sings it. I don't
That's
know what he looks
cool.
like."
Yeah.
Did you
And
hear
this
that
is
just
Riley
on the
Ritchie,
radio?
yeah, and,
Out
you
of-
know, and I had this clip on the
blue?
radio.
Wow.
Then he went in to do his cover version. I can remember I sent him a message on Twitter and stuff, and I'm like saying, "Man, yeah, we're here, man." And like, me and Nicky tagged him in this, and like saying, "Yeah, we're the guys that wrote it originally." Blah blah blah. Do you know what I mean? And go from there. But I look. That's what I love.
Yeah.
About the situation that I'm in with this track is that we've got that longevity because you just don't see us about. So when we're on a bill, we do get the crowds in because they're like, "Oh, I want to see who wants the boys. Let me see who this amongst the boys."
Yeah.
So it sort of
You
keeps
know,
your
so it's-
egos in check then.
Yeah, it does.
You're not
That's
trying to
important.
100%. And I
Run
like I
out
says,
there.
I love that. I just
That's
live a
important.
normal.
Though. It is important.
I live a normal life. You know what I mean?
What I'm
So-
witnessing today as well is two very energetic people, but also you seem like you've got a hold of your egos. You're not. You've got them in check. You
think-
really seem
yeah,
humble and
yeah.
very authentic.
Yeah, yeah.
You won't survive if you've not. If I'm honest with
But
you.
saying that though,
Have you had
it's-
to grow out of it, either of you? Have you been ego driven, or have you always sort of just been quite
Not
humble?
really. No, I don't know.
I think
because
with-
I've seen it.
was about to say,
I've seen it so
seeing it,
much where
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, and a lot of your friends remind you of stuff.
Yeah.
They'll say, "Oh, mate, yo, if that was my tune, I'd be telling everyone."
Yeah, yeah,
Then
yeah,
I'll be-
yeah,
then I'll go,
But
Why?
no, you are who you are.
"Why?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you
hate
want out of that? You
I
have
hate
to
that. I hate that. Do you know who I am?
psychoanalyze it.
Do you know who I am?
I don't like that.
Do you know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
if man
I had that
gaslight you, I
recently.
hate
Somebody
that
said,
stuff,
"Do you know
bro.
who I am? Do you know
Hate-
what I'm about?"
I would-
Or
you'll
you go,
never-
It's
I
all
don't
good.
want to
Never
anymore.
in your life
Each to their own, though.
would I ever use that card. It's where I don't even use my rider at gigs.
Yeah.
Really?
I've just
Yeah.
not bothered. Do you know what I mean? It's just like people will be like, "Yo, I need like 6 bottles of champions. My man them needs some. I need 2 bottles of Courvoisier." Because they bought 20 man with them to a gig, and they're like, "Yo,
Yeah.
Denzie, what you want?" I'm like, "Babes, what do you want?" I'll just get us 2 waters.
And done.
Waters.
'Cause I'm not staying.
chilling
And
out.
done.
I'm not staying. I'm here to do
Yeah.
my job,
And then
hit the road.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm not about the rave anymore.
Are
You
you,
know
are you
what
on
I
the
mean? So-
same vibe?
For me, it's just similar thing. I think that I don't like it. I don't know. I
don't like it.
I don't
Yeah,
like to see
like
big
it.
egos. And some people are obviously compensating for. I don't know,
Whatever.
some insecurities, which is cool. There's nothing wrong with having insecurities at all, but deal with them on the inside, not on the
Yeah.
outside, and don't use people as stepping stones to make yourself feel good.
100%.
And that's what I don't like. So I will.
I mean, it's nothing wrong with being a bit
No, there's nothing wrong with being confident.
confident.
Yeah.
Confidence,
The
great.
confident is
being
different.
proud of yourself.
No,
is
there's
great.
nothing
exactly,
wrong with that.
exactly. There's
But if
no-
you're gonna make someone else feel a little bit lower than you, then
Yeah.
it's not the right thing to do. As
Fifth,
far
will
as
you
I'm
just
concerned.
bring your mic slightly up a little bit?
Excuse me.
No,
Yeah.
that's perfect.
Sorry.
It's funny.
Yeah.
And do you know what? Yeah, it's another thing is it's just like
Tauruses. We're just Tauruses.
yeah, but you know, I tell you what, we didn't when the track first came out, we didn't have a great experience with the label as well. So, and I've seen how music and money and
There's
how
an
it,
ugly side
how
to it.
it there's an
Yeah.
ugly side to it. Do you know what I mean? And
Taints
it's like
it.
it does taint it. Do you know what I mean? And you know we we had our fallouts and stuff, all of us. But we as men we came together and
Yeah.
just went. That was bullshit, man.
Yeah.
At least you
That other
learned
stuff
from
was
it.
bullshall.
Yeah.
We all learned from it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And
What
we're
would
all,
it be?
we're all
Sort
cool,
of
but
percentages, or people want
it
certain
would be
cuts?
it would
How-
be yeah. But I think just the music industry in general,
Yeah.
like not
Yeah.
just our situation, but
Yeah.
just in general. We've seen a lot of artists. We've got one of the most famous names of an artist in Nottingham, Wyclef,
Yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
you know he seems down and out.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
he's had his troubles and this, that, and the
Wicked
other.
singer.
Absolutely
wicked
amazing
singer.
singer. This guy dated Danny Minogue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
I
guy-
know you mean,
You
yeah.
probably
This guy-
could get him on the show.
You know, toured with James
Really?
Brown.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you
yeah.
probably
He
would
could.
get him on. Yeah,
Yeah, he's. I
100%.
think I think there's, from what I've seen, I don't want to, but
I've seen him do interviews, and
think-
he's
I was
been
going to
alright.
say,
and
is he
he's got through-
coherent? Because I don't like seeing
No.
someone struggling. I like
What
to
it
help
is,
them.
what it is
Yeah.
with him, yeah. He from what I last seen, he was kind of like homeless.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
where
I don't want to say the wrong thing, but he was
Yeah, right.
homeless, and then you find out his manager was Simon Cowell, and you know what I mean, and this
crazy,
and that.
innit?
It is. I've
Yeah.
heard the
Crazy.
story.
And you
definitely.
can even type his video on YouTube, and you see his
Yeah.
old videos, and you'll be like, ah. But
Yeah.
when he comes up to you and you
Yeah.
hear his voice,
Yeah, it's still
It's
there.
crazy, innit?
shocks you. Because
Yeah.
he used to come up to
Yeah.
come up to you for ask for change, and like I'm one time I says, yeah, whatever it was, and he sang, and it was like I was like, ah,
Yeah, he can
I
sing,
couldn't
boy,
believe
he
it,
can sing.
amazing.
Did
So
you know who that was before he approached
I
you?
knew it
and-
was.
Yeah.
I didn't. I
Yeah,
didn't.
yeah,
I just
I
knew
knew
he
it
could
was.
sing, kind
Yeah.
of thing. So
I didn't want to believe that it was him
Yeah.
until I think it was a family member of mine was like, yeah, that's him.
That is him.
but hence
Wow.
the ugly side of music.
It's the ugly side of music.
Yeah, what is that ugly side?
Listen, it's dark, man.
Yeah.
It can be. I think it's more like with our situation. It was weird. We was, like I said, signed to a label, and then you start to think about all the work you've put in, and you're like, well, hang on, I'm getting paid.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean, like when I'm getting paid and stuff like that. And
I
then
get you.
You get people in your ear like, oh, your song's everywhere, man. Like, why? What?
Someone's getting
Why-
paid.
Someone's getting paid.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
what's
yeah.
going on here? You know what I mean? And that's where it can start to get ugly. Like,
And
Also-
was
that's
the- was
where
the quite-
you then start to lose focus
Yes.
and just start to think,
Actually, I am getting done
I'm
over.
gonna
it.
have to
Yeah,
be done
and
over
that's
here.
it.
And if you've not got the facts,
And so there was a truth to that when people were saying, "Come on, man, your song's
there was
everywhere."
absolutely, yeah.
You need to
It
think about
happens.
this on a
It
big-
happens
yeah.
now.
It happens now, and it happened to us.
Yeah, it's technical. The
happened
thing
to
is,
us,
you,
yeah,
you can.
you know.
Is it? And the other side is if you get signed to a label,
Yeah.
and your single is your like a platformy booster that boosts you out there,
Yeah.
and your other songs don't do well, they'll drop you. The label
Yeah,
will
they
drop
just
you.
drop you, man.
They'll tell you that. We'll drop you.
And that's the dark
Is
side.
And
it-
that's
is
the
it-
dark
That's
side.
the dark side.
Is it more prevalent now, or is there more knowledge about it, so it's
Right.
less sort of happening?
Can I take
Go.
Yeah.
You go.
I think now the music scene, especially in the UK, well, in fact, the music scene in general is a lot healthier now because there is
Independence.
less use of labels and more independence.
Yeah, you got your YouTubes
You know what I'm
and,
saying?
Yeah.
and that helps a lot of
It
people.
helps a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think that started from MySpace days.
Most
you know, like when,
definitely. Yeah, yeah.
MySpace came
Yeah,
in
yeah.
and artists were able
Yeah.
to use that platform
Yeah,
Create
for
to
a
showcase
yourself.
all their stuff, and then you start to get fans because basically all a record label or an A&R, what they want to do is they want to make you even more popular. But if your platform's popping anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
you
the
cut
thing.
out the middleman. You don't need that person.
Excuse me. And then off of what Denzie's saying, with your MySpaces and then being able to promote yourself.
Yeah.
You're actually marketing
You're
yourself.
marketing yourself.
You're becoming your own market, and
Yeah.
then it's your world.
Yeah.
So
Let's jump here then. This is a question. This is packed.
here we
Go
go.
on, then.
Now, if you've got a young artist, he's not signed or anything. Let's say it's your son. What's your son's name?
Mason.
Mason. What a lovely chap. I've
Yeah.
enjoyed meeting Mason today.
Cheers.
Mason wants to smash the scene. Let's give him life advice on a business element, not getting carried away with your ego element, every side of it. And you could conduct a young artist from somebody that's really been in the scene and lived it. What sort of advice are you giving here? Don't get with a label, get with the right label. Where you at?
Firstly, I would say, if you're asking me that if I had to bring in an artist and give him, you'd have to you gotta show him love. You can't just bring somebody in and think business straight away.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're gonna want money at the end of it.
Of course.
But you've got to show them love and attention.
Yeah.
You've got to give him your all.
So this advice now is being a label. You're a
You've got to pay attention. You could come in with talent, right?
Yeah.
And you could come into my label, and I could be like acting arrogant and acting like you're nothing to me. Do you know what I mean? But the way I would do it, I would show a lot more interest and say, you know what, you've got something.
Okay, this is interesting.
You've got a lot of talent and belief.
My perspective was going from somebody that's not signed and you're not a label. You're just
That's
giving
first.
advice, but you're being a label.
You've
here,
got to
so
pay
that's right.
attention. There's no point bringing in somebody to waste your own time and not give
get
them
ya.
attention. Do you get what I'm
Okay.
saying? And second of all, you've got to graft.
Yeah.
You've got to, don't think because, don't be like, here's an example. Don't get to a platform and think that's it.
I get you.
So, for example, when I was coming
Always
up,
got to look for the
Yes.
next level.
right? Now, when I was coming up in the rap game, my goal was always to go on fire in the booth.
Yes.
That was my goal.
Literally.
Literally my goal. That was my dream. I used to watch every single one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah? So, when I got there, when I finally got there, I slowed down.
Really?
Yes, it wasn't a mistake. I just felt like I was happy with where I got, and I
Right.
slowed down, and that was it for me in my mind. But there was still, what I should have thought about is the people that actually did believe in me that wanted me to carry on.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? But from what I went through music and stuff, and then finally getting there, I felt like I'd achieved what I needed to achieve. I wasn't really interested in fame and like you said, being notorious and how we are, money and stuff. I was thinking about, right, I've reached my goal. There's not many people in Notts that have done this, respectfully.
Yes, yeah.
And there's a lot of brilliant artists from Nottingham. And I felt like I'd done it. And they can't take it away from me.
I mean, it's a beautiful height to hit.
Yeah.
But then, did you struggle after that because you'd hit?
I
a
did.
goal?
I fell out of love with music for a long time.
That's a good point.
I fell out of love with music.
I didn't
for a long time.
struggle. Yes, I did actually. I struggled in the way of the hunger.
Yeah.
The hunger to want to do more.
You need to replace that
Yeah.
somewhere along the line somehow.
So based on what you asked me,
Realign your goal.
Yeah, and that's it. And the advice I would give is don't get if you're a good artist and people love you and you get 10,000 views, that's not where it ends.
Yeah.
No.
You got to keep going. You got to keep putting out music. You got to work. You got to keep working. You got to bang out. You've got to look at your marketing system. You've got to look at your image. This is just this day and age. This is just how it is.
Yeah.
You've got to look at your image. You've got to look at who you are, and then you've just got to keep going and keep going and keep that raw talent going, and then just put your talent into your music and that's it. Just keep going. You might not make it, but why stop?
Yes.
Do you get what I'm saying? You've
it
got to
with
do
the
it for
love.
the love. Exactly. You've got to
gotta
do it for the love first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fat Freddy's drop song, if you've heard of them guys, they're like a reggae band.
Yeah.
It's called "Do It for the Love of Music."
Yeah.
You've
Yeah.
got to do it, and this is where a lot of the people now are not doing it for the love. There's a lot that ain't. They're just doing it because they want to be rich, and you can
Yeah.
hear
I get
that
that
in
now.
the, you can hear it
Hear
in
it
the music. Like you can't.
Sounds
even
the
be
same.
bothered. Yes.
Sounds the same.
can't
Just
be
following
arsed.
that formula, right?
Go on then,
I'm gonna
Denzie.
sound like this guy.
You give a little bit more.
I
to-
fell out of love with music for a little bit. It's pressure. Trying to follow a track as big as Sorry for one. There's always going to be that. And I personally believe we did tracks that were better than Sorry. Way better.
I was going to ask you that. Down
Way
the line.
better.
Yeah, I did.
Way
wanna
better.
know.
Even with Monster Boy, we've got tracks.
What makes it better?
In your eyes.
I just think they're better songs.
Sounding,
Yeah,
the feel.
Content, the way
Did,
they
you,
feel.
did you like the song?
music.
You know when it came out? Because wait, there's a lot of people that
No,
people tell them to put the song out. They don't actually really like.
No,
but it blows
so,
up anyway.
Yeah.
What I didn't like, what was weird, when Sorry came out, I didn't like the original vocal on Sorry. So whenever I sang it live, I made sure I sang it well.
Properly.
Yes.
So then people would say, yo, you sound just like the record. In fact, sometimes, bro,
Sound
you sound better.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I always wanted to re-record it. It was
Yeah.
weird. It was such a whirlwind when we recorded it from it going on to White Label. No one would have expected what it did. Even
Yeah.
when it went from the studio,
Yeah.
it had a little mix on the desk and whatever. It went on to White Label. When it went White Label, bro, it just hit the wave and just went. We didn't have time to re-record that, even if we wanted to. It was that version that it's gone. This is the one that everyone loves. This is the one that the label picks up. It's gone. So it's weird. So we did manage to re-record it back in 2012, and I was happy with that. Do you know what I mean? So it sounds the same.
Yeah.
It just sounds cleaner.
But
Yeah.
you're happy
Like
with
this
it.
version
Yeah.
just sounds cleaner now, and we're much. All of us are all collectively much happier with it. But yeah, you know.
How did you find your love back for music?
Do you know what?
Good
I tell you what.
That's a good question.
It was for me. I got tired of raving for
Yeah,
one.
same.
'cause that's all I would do. I'd go to the rave and I'd be performing at a rave. And the older I got, and obviously kids are getting older and
yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that. And I didn't want to be in a rave at 3-4 o'clock in the morning.
Nah.
Do you know what I mean? And I'm working as well, so it's
Yeah,
just like
it's deep.
I'm working in the week, so it's just like I don't want to be in a rave.
Did the etiquette of the rave scene change as well? Because I've heard people sort of say that.
Well, not
question.
really. It's probably different for a raver than it is for me, who's constantly backstage.
Yeah,
until
going
I'm
and
ready
doing
to
your
go
work.
on
Yeah.
and enjoy a bit of the
yeah.
rave
I get
and,
ya.
and go home kind of thing. But I'm sure they'll probably have a different outlook on that one. But yeah, I just got tired of it all. I got mentally tired of just the scene, the music, and there was obviously a lot of stuff happening, with around royalties and
Yeah.
ownership, and
Yeah.
it was stressful, and I didn't want the music to take me like that. I didn't want the music to turn me into where I
Bitter.
start having
Somebody
bitter
you didn't
and
be.
you know what I mean, and I didn't want it to consume me that
Yeah,
way, bro.
yeah.
And
Taking a break is-
talk about obviously
yeah.
like with mental health and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know how I didn't? I've seen people go crazy with,
Oh, yeah.
with
Yeah,
having
yeah.
stuff and having stuff taken away from them
Yeah.
and this, that, and the other, especially in the music industry. I've said to myself,
You don't want that.
no, do you know what it was, Rome? I says to myself, this money that everyone keeps talking about, I've never had it. I've never seen it. How can I be mad about something
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
never had in the
Yeah,
first
yeah.
That's
place?
a beautiful attitude.
Do you know what I'm saying?
It's true though.
And that was what got me through that period, especially the period where everyone was like, oh, da-da-da is ripping you off and such is ripping you off and da-da-da-da. That wasn't the case, people thought certain people were ripping us off, ripping me and Nicky off, and it turned out, it all came out. We were all in the same boat. We're getting shafted by the label, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So it was just like, and the label just then, we've got some money here for you. We've had it
Wow.
for years.
Can I have some?
Yeah, yeah.
You lot just need
Just
to,
saying, I don't
you
know.
lot just need to sort your shit
Yeah,
out, and,
yeah.
we
Yeah.
can pay this out.
Yeah.
But what got my love back for music was just being around people who genuinely loved what they did.
Yes.
So being around people like Nico D. Shout out to Nico. Nico's a DJ on Kemet, but it was more his uncle Steve, like DJ SLK. He's sadly not with us anymore. You know what I mean? Passed away about 2 years ago now. I think it might even be a bit longer actually. The time's just flying so much. But this guy was like my bigger brother. Like him from an early age, from 16, 17, this guy made sure we didn't go the wrong way.
Yeah. So, I mean, from what I'm dissecting here is some of the best advice you could give to people is get a tribe, but be around the right people.
Be around the
Yeah,
right people
yeah.
all the time. Be around
It's hard
my circle.
sometimes.
My circle used to be so big, but my circle over the years has got so small. There's just a
Yeah,
handful of
That's how
people.
it goes. That's how it
It's just
goes.
a handful of people that I I chat to about everything.
This is why you need the OGs in the game to come and give these
This is what I'm saying.
conversations and impart this wisdom. 'Cause
We had Steve. I had my older brothers. They've always looked out for me as well. You know what I mean? My sisters. You know what I mean? Just in general, my in-laws, my missus.
Yeah.
My missus is super supportive. Like, she's got me through a lot of stuff, man. Just by, just keeping your pep talk, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just
That's
like,
what
yo,
I mean.
don't go down that road, man.
Yeah.
It's like,
Sometimes you go down a dark hole and
you just need
back
dragging back out again. But you know what it is, bro? And this is what I'm saying. This is where you need to have communication, and this is where you need to chat about stuff.
Yeah.
Have you two seen each other sort of go into that, and you've been able to sort of
It's
give
funny
them the
because
advice
when
they need it?
when we hooked up to discuss about doing stuff together, you did tell me, and I respect
You can
Rome
talk
for that.
about it.
No, and I respect Rome for that because he felt comfortable enough to tell me something which is quite personal.
Yeah.
And I says to him on the phone, but you know what? As black man or as men in general, we are supposed to talk about this.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
We are supposed to talk about this stuff because you know what? Don't see it as a sign of weakness.
Nah.
You kind of grow up with that, don't you?
Yeah.
No, don't cry, man. You're weak
Yeah,
and
yeah.
rare, and this, that, and the other. And I grew up with that mindset.
Yeah, me too.
I'm known as like really horrible in my family because I don't cry. Do you know what I mean? I don't. And do you know what? I know it's not good to internalize it. I know it's not.
I get you.
But I'm so used to doing it, and
You're a motherfucker.
It's just a
yeah, I
part
know.
of the DNA.
It's just a part of my DNA,
No,
innit?
no.
It don't mean that I don't feel sadness because
No.
I do.
No.
Do you know what I'm saying? And like, it might just hit me a bit later on, which has done. You know what I mean? Because I've lost people, and it's not hit me
Really?
until after. Like,
Then do you
when I
feel a
lost my
bit of
brother,
guilt
my
there?
dad. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I was just
100%, 100%, and that's what it is. Do you know what I mean? It's that you do feel guilty.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
Someone's
it's
defending
crazy.
you from
Yeah.
feeling, which is not a bad thing.
It's not a
just
bad thing, but
better for
like
you.
I says, this is why it's good to talk.
Well,
to talk about this.
You've got a
stuff,
self-awareness of it though, so that's
Yeah.
what's going to save
That's
you.
what you need to do, though. You need
can
to
tune in.
identify
Yeah,
it yourself,
identifying it. Yeah.
or you're not going to be able to. It's like
You can't go forward if
like,
it's hard.
Same,
Yeah.
like same with anything. If you're an alcoholic, if you're a drug abuser, you've got to recognize that.
You know what? I am.
You're dependent.
Now I want to work on
Now
it.
you want to work on it
Right.
because if you don't see it as an issue, then you're never going to work.
I mean,
it.
we've really got onto the mental health element of it, and you were just saying that you really sort of fell to it then, Fif Nova. And like,
Yeah,
Probably during lockdown, isn't it?
yeah. You know what? I think I'll be honest with you. The lockdown stuff, the COVID thing, it hit everybody hard. It doesn't matter who you are. It hit you in one way or another.
another.
It hit you hard. Some people in different ways. A lot of people in different ways.
Yeah.
So I think for me, regarding mental health, when the first lockdown hit and it was, worldwide, that's a lot to take on for a human being. Hold on a minute. We're in a pandemic that's locking down the world, bro.
Yeah.
And you're not supposed to get used to it.
No.
Like, it's not, you're not out of pocket if you're not handling it well. But at the time, I was, because I was working through it. Like, I wasn't on furlough or I wasn't locked down. I was lucky enough.
working,
Yeah, I was
Same,
lucky
I
enough
was
to work through it. So I was cool. Then I got made redundant. So we're going to talk triggers here.
Right. Okay.
Right? So then I got made redundant from a job that I was at 7 years.
Wow,
So I was working at Victoria Centre and Broadmarsh.
Yeah.
Before it got... And all that was kicking in. And then the pandemic kicked in. And then I was lucky enough to still work at Victoria Centre. Then I got made redundant. I just bought a house the year before. So I had a mortgage. And like I said, it was...
Some
the trigger
adult
was...
stuff,
There was a few triggers. So it was triggering off in my mind. And then I managed to get another job. And I was cool. It was still there at the back of my head, this pandemic thing and stuff. But I was able to work through it. And then... I was able to start a podcast.
Bro.
Excuse me. I was able to start a podcast called the Manarchy, which we'll go into.
Yeah.
And then it went pear-shaped.
Right.
Right. It
As
can't...
in just the podcast or just
No.
life in...
Let's put it this way. If I do something and I love it and it gets taken away from me, it will hurt me.
It will hurt you.
Do you get what I'm saying? So, for whatever reasons, it just wasn't working out. Courtney had his own ideas. I had my own ideas, and it was just the way that the departing happened.
Yeah.
We could have spoke, and this is all due respect to Courtney.
Yeah.
We could have spoke better than we did to each other about it, and then went our separate ways. But it just ended cold.
Can I ask what the sort of miscommunication was and what the different ideas were?
I think, it was new to us all.
Yeah.
Right? And I came to Courtney with the idea. Respectfully, he was on it straight away. To be fair on Courtney, he always believed in me. From when I was doing music, he always rated me just out of the love, and he always used to. And this is another thing we need to do as people. You need to tell somebody when they're good.
Yeah, man.
Don't hide it. If they're talented, let them know. If they're doing well, let them know. Even if they're not as talented as what you think, let them know that they're doing something good and it's positive, even if it's for themselves. So with Courtney, he always did that with me. He always believed, so I can't slander him, and I wouldn't anyway. And so he jumped on it straight away. And like I said, podcast is a new thing. I rap.
Yeah.
It's different. Like, I've been in front of videos and done music videos, but this is a whole different ball game. So it's, you know what I mean? So it's new to everybody. Point being is, we had creative differences.
I get you.
Whereas Courtney, I respect him. He wanted to move a lot faster.
Yeah.
Whereas I wanted to, let's take our time because it's doing well at the minute.
Okay.
Right. Let's just move. Whereas he was like, I want to bring in more people and blah blah blah, and it just kind of wasn't what I want. It's not the pace because I'd watched so many podcasts. I knew what was going to work. With not to say that his ideas wasn't good. I just had a good feeling. Yeah, and I was like, he had his own ideas, and it just kind of didn't work. And I think maybe he got a little bit impatient with certain things and just didn't want to do it no more. And I was hurt from that because me and him, we had a different relationship. I could always rely on him.
Yeah.
He could rely on me. If I rang Courtney and I needed something like equipment, it was always a yes. So I'm not going to disrespect him.
Yeah.
I was hurt, don't get me wrong, and we haven't spoke since then, but I ain't got nothing bad to say about him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's doing his thing, and he's a good pillar of the community. And his brother, do you know what I mean? 100%. And his brother as well, Big Trev, they all do good for the community, and the things that they do for kids are amazing.
Yeah.
So it's between me and him, and we can get past it, but that's why it's not here at the minute.
You've got the same commonality and mission. You're on the same purpose.
Yeah, we're both creative.
Be creative, help people, do cool shit.
Yeah.
But just in that time frame and where you were both at, it wasn't correlating.
No, it just wasn't. It wasn't, and it wasn't aggressive.
No,
it wasn't like bad-minded.
But it was an understanding.
Yeah, it was just like, well, I don't want to do this no more, and I'm like, all right, cool.
So come on, let's talk about the what is and the what is going to happen. So have you got creative ideas of furthering it?
Well, I can tell you how we linked up for us to be here together. So, I mean, right. So me and Denzie's always known each other, like for years, going back, I don't know, 10, 15 years, maybe longer than that. But when me and Denzie have been friends, we never really spoke about music. It's just like
it's weird. It's just other stuff.
It's just we get on well, and we just know each other, and there's what I feel that there's a good connection and a good vibe between us. And
feel that.
And me and him love to laugh and be happy, and that's it. Yeah. And then I rang Denzie about just another personal matter regarding somebody else, and I was like, "Oh, have you not heard from so and so?" And he was like, "Do you know what?" And I explained what the deal was, and he was like, "What you doing with yourself?" Stop me if I'm wrong as well. He was like, "What you doing with yourself?" And at this point, when I'm talking to Denzie, I'm going through depression, bro.
Right.
Real shit. Like, I'm going through. I told you that, right?
Yeah, you did.
I was going through depression.
Everything you've just explained.
Everything, not just the podcast stuff, just life. I lost my job. I've just bought a house. Yeah. I've got 2 kids. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it just, and you know what?
All become a bit real.
I never thought. I'm not saying that I don't go through my highs and lows. Yeah. But I never thought that depression would hit me like this. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? So, God sent an angel.
Yeah. I can tell as well. He is an angel.
Yeah. He was like, "What are you doing with yourself?" And I'm like,
chopped it up, man.
I'm just working, bro. And he's like, so, and he's, Denzie's Denzie. Like we're both the same, but I wasn't that at the time. He was who I want to be, kind of thing.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, what you doing? He's like, yeah. I'm like, I'm just here, man. He goes, yo, come on, man, what's going on? Like, what's going on with the podcast? And then I told him the story.
Yeah.
And I was like, do you know what? I'm not gonna lie, Denzie. I'm going through this depression. That's added to it. You know, I don't know what I'm doing. And he's like, yo, why don't me and you do something? And I went, do you know what, Denzel? It's not a bad idea because I didn't know where I was going after it. I knew I wanted to go somewhere and maybe I wasn't ready at the time.
Yeah.
But he definitely kicked me.
And the thing is, because of who he is and his character, me and my my other boy, Lee Ramsey, we do stuff. We've been doing stuff for years.
Yeah.
But it's just how it is.
Yeah.
I've known him since he was a 15-year-old
Yeah,
kid.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So we go to his, we do music, and we've always had this idea of, you know what, and I've always said to him, do you know what, bro? You know what I want to do after music, like when I'm done with the music, man, is just trying to get into the more media side of things. Podcasting and being on, because I'm brimming with ideas, bro. And it's weird. It's weird because it's like, I don't just want to chat to other artists about it, because that's done.
We want it all.
We want it all.
We want it all.
I want to chat
I
about.
want it
I want to chat
all.
about football. I was like, mate, I've got this whole like dossier where having like a football show and stuff like that, and you know what I mean, and just chat to rival fans and stuff like that, and you know, and chat music, and you know what I mean,
we've
review movies and you know, just normal stuff, bro.
And I think
that you'd enjoy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think we've both got the same ideas, the same ambition when it comes to, like Denzie says, your media, wanting to get out of the same thing as well.
Yeah. What am I going to do after music?
I can't rap.
Yeah.
I can't rap forever.
Yeah, for real. It's true.
can,
It's
so
true.
much content.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's other stuff that we both wanted to delve
To do,
into, and it, like I said, it just happened at the right
I mean, that's
time.
the thing with podcast. It's so universal, but so explorative. You know, one day you could be doing with a rapper and you're really in your game talking about something you're very passionate about, but the next day you could find a quantum physicist and start talking
as long as
about
it's
the mind,
interest.
and there's always going to be interest.
The thing
there,
is when you're doing, as far as I'm concerned, when you do a podcast, you have to be interested in your guest.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm
You
saying?
got to do your research, man.
You got to do your research, and you've got to come across interesting, because if you get one man on the podcast that's not, it's not going to work. You've got to, he's not even going to
have to
be
set
there.
the tone. You've set the tone for this today.
Cheers, lads.
That's what you're meant to do.
Big
You know what I'm
facts.
saying? You set the tone, and that's what you got to do. You could have came in and been all monotone.
Yeah,
And
you can't say this, and we would have respected. That's why I was like, what can we say? Or are we all good, respectfully, and this podcast works.
Is this what you want out of a podcast then? Just the flexibility to go anywhere. With it?
I would say so.
And would it be sort of having guests on then as well, or predominantly just
everything?
Yeah, it would be. It would be as well, because I'm not one to use like the kind of people that I know. I just kind of leave them alone. But I know there is a few friends that I can call on and say, look, can you come down and
I mean,
give you an interview and whatever, you know what I mean?
As soon as you can get sort of a bigger guest on every so often and open eyes to it, then all the smaller guests are coming on a platform that have got more eyes. So
but that's the
beautiful.
thing.
Why wouldn't you want that?
And that's it. If you listen, this is how you know when you get, say, 60 different guests on, and people find that interesting without someone famous being on it, you're doing well.
You're doing well.
And then you get a big guest, and then no one can't say to you, oh, he only done well because he had a big guest. Because you was already doing well. Do you know what I'm saying? So, your guest, you've had about, bloody hell, it's like 90, it looks like 90 guests.
I think it's going on, we're going into the hundreds.
Yeah, I've seen it, so.
I think I've probably only had one named person on. He was an ex-England footballer. Do you know Stephen Warnock?
Yeah.
Warnock came on. I just did a Zoom one with him. But that was it was his first ever interview as well. I'd done one before. And it was all about his mental health coming out of football and that track. Can you imagine? What we've just spoke about today.
A lot of footballers do think what they're going to do after football.
Transition from there.
What are they going to do?
Spotlight and then not in the spotlight. And it's hard to deal with.
It is hard to deal with. I don't think people really get. I think it's because they think they've got money and a certain lifestyle. Bro, mental health don't care if
doesn't discriminate, does it?
Don't discriminate. It will just, okay, I won't cry on my porch. I'll cry in my Ferrari, but you're still crying,
Yeah, and you're still alone.
and you're still alone.
And when you're going through depression, you're alone.
Yeah, it's
Because
mad.
you don't want to, as what I went through is, you know, you don't want to talk to nobody. You don't want to, at the same time, you're fighting against showing weakness against maybe your wife at home or your kid or your son or your daughter. But it's a dark place. Like, you don't want to get out of bed, but you got to go to work.
Well, we've just done some amazing advice for artists going into the scene, signing labels and so on. Mental health side of things. What's some paths and avenues that you both had to venture down to
Get out of it.
Yeah, beat your mental health?
Talk about it.
Do you know what? Again, just going back to just having the right people around you, for one.
Yeah.
But what if you're dealing with that?
When you've got a missus like mine who's just trying to cleanse your aura every night just to make sure you're all right. You know, but like literally I'll be sat in the kitchen and then I'm like, why are you wafting incense around me? She's like, I'm just getting rid of all that negative energy. But you know what, bro? I swear, Dad, I'm not gonna lie. As much as I laugh and joke about it, she knows I do anyway. We've been together 20 plus years. Same thing, bro.
Funny you should say that.
Yeah.
Because
Cleansing my
when
aura.
I was going through the depression thing,
Yeah.
shout out to my sister Rajan. Yeah, she goes, I need to send you some what's the word?
The crystals, isn't it?
The crystals. I got the crystals.
We've got bare crystals.
And
in
the
my house.
I can picture it now.
Pamelenta.
Yeah.
It's woods. It's like a wood that you burn that you walk around your house with.
Yeah.
And I started doing that. And
Start saging it up. It's like
like
sage.
sage.
Yeah, the sage and
I've got all those in my house. I even put them around my kids and around
Yeah.
the house. And it's
About energies then.
yeah. If you believe in that kind of thing.
I mean,
Do you know what?
Yeah.
She makes me believe.
Yeah.
Because she's scary.
Did you?
She's like a witch. Bro.
You believe?
Honestly,
I believe.
she's like I don't know how she does it. When she does, because she does Reiki and stuff, and she's really tuned in.
Yes.
She's really tuned
Get
in.
away from me, Gypsy.
No, trust me. Jippo, it's there. She's part of Jippo.
Oh, there you go then. It's
But it's like, when she does Reiki, she's really, really tuned in.
serious.
Even when she does it on me, because I won't tell her anything,
Yeah.
and she'll do a bit of like, she's done Reiki over on me over the years, and I'm like, how did you know that? Like, how did you know that? How did you know I was aching there? Or, do you know what I mean? Because I never told you that. You know what I mean? Because she does massaging and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And did
But
you
she's
have
scary,
absolutely no spiritual side at all, really?
Not
prior?
really. Not really. I mean, not really. I just knew. I just knew I
Knowledge base
needed
was
to.
music,
Yeah, I just knew I
creativity.
needed to have the right people around me to get me through those things. You know what I mean? And just kept your head down, really. Just like obviously focused on work, but focused on what was important, like your family and stuff. You know what I mean? And being around the kids. That's what got me through it, I would say. Because there was not much else that I was doing other than just being around.
Do you have any anecdotal moments where you had a pivotal time happen where you thought, do you know what, I'm gonna go down a new path now? Was it a day, or was it just a grinding
It was like a
breakdown?
grinding.
It was a constant.
Yeah, it
and
was a
suddenly-
constant thing.
So it wasn't like an epiphany where you went, right, I'm changing it all, lordy, let's do
Yeah,
this.
it was a steady, slow process.
And the same
Yeah.
with you, Nova.
Yeah, I mean,
Or was there
I
a
don't
breaking
know.
camelback
It's
moment?
it's weird with mine because I was in it.
Yeah.
I knew I was in it, and I found, day to day, I was planning my way to take the edge off, like you said earlier. But mine was when I was in the darkness of it, I was planning my drink when I was finishing work.
Right,
Not
okay,
like
yeah.
not like I finished work and I fancy a little just to mellow out. No, I was planning
already
it
planning
because
it.
I didn't want to feel lower after I finished work. So I wanted to numb myself because of it. So I was doing that day to day, and then, brother, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I just had a moment where someone said to me, "It's done. You're done with this depression."
this.
And I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but
Wow.
I woke up the very next day and I stopped.
Seriously?
Brother, I couldn't lie to
You
you.
gave yourself that choice, and the thing was, you again, it's that self-awareness. Like, you knew
I was
already
fortunate
where
enough.
that could go.
Yeah.
We've seen man in Radford.
Yeah,
We've
yeah,
grown
yeah,
up in
yeah,
Radford.
yeah,
We've seen
yeah.
man go.
We're both from the same area
Yeah.
as well, so. But
We've
yeah,
seen them go that way with
it's-
liquor and not
you
being
can
able to
see-
recover from
not
it.
just
you know?
liquor, like anything.
Anything. Yeah,
like,
anything.
It's
And-
not like I was. The thing is, I'm not addicted to like liquor or nothing. It's just sometimes I use it to just mellow myself out, and it became regular. You know what I'm saying? I was doing it every day, and I'm
And
like,
problematic
most definitely.
to your existence.
Yeah, it was becoming a problem, and it just wasn't me. It was changing it was altering my character, and I just woke up and says, right, this is done. And then the very next day after that, I was back in the gym. Not 100%, but at least 90% than what I was
Doing something.
I think that's the ideologies people need to adapt now is just step.
Yeah.
One step. This New Year's, New Me sort of thing, where it's like, right, I'm going to do this and this and this and this.
Gotta do it.
Suddenly, after you've made really expectations far too high and you fail after a couple of weeks, then it
beat
all
yourself
reverts
up.
back to
Start beating yourself up again.
you go worse than you were before.
You
gotta
beat
do it
yourself
slowly,
up.
man.
But if
And
you
the
can
thing
just consistently give.
Do you know another thing as well? Back to the beating yourself up. You've kind of got to talk to yourself and not people in that respect. Because if I say to my missus, I'm going to go to the gym, blah, 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 first thing, and I don't go for a week, you think she's thinking low of you.
Yeah.
And then you beat yourself up even more. So it's like a vicious cycle. But what you've got to do, I believe,
No, she'll
don't
talk.
just,
Mine will tell me.
believe
same.
If I told her the night before, right, I'm going to get up at 7.
Yeah.
If it's 7:05 and I'm not up,
Yeah.
she'll be like,
But sometimes...
get up!
Brother, but the thing is...
Get up and do your session.
But brother,
before you go
listen,
to
this is
work
the thing though, yeah? This is the thing. Sometimes you can say things and you're actually not ready. Do you get what I'm saying? So you could
I didn't
say...
think I was ready for that at 7 o'clock in the morning.
No,
tangible.
I mean like
It
Monday,
needed to be
I
done.
could say, I'm going to gym Monday. And I'm fooling myself. But in my head at the time, I'm ready. I'm ready. No,
I know what you're saying though.
day,
But I know what you mean.
You're not actually ready,
I know what you
so
mean.
you've got to do it for yourself.
Yeah, mentally you weren't
Mentally, don't talk.
Yeah.
Because you're going to help yourself that way.
Yeah.
Don't tell your wife, I'm going to go gym and blah, 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 or your mates, and you don't go,
And
because
then
you're
you
going to
go,
put more pressure on
yourself.
Yeah? Just, when are you ready? Once
Just
you
do
go,
it.
you go.
Yeah.
I completely feel
Do you get
that.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
go.
I obviously made the mistake of telling her the night before.
Well, I told my mate.
Drill sergeant me up the next morning.
I told my mate Leroy, who trains regular.
Yeah.
You been gym? No, I'm going Monday. Why did I just?
Why?
Why did I just say
Why?
no? I haven't been yet.
Yeah.
And just leave it there.
Yeah.
And then I don't go gym, and he's been in the gym, and he's like,
Where were you?
where were you?
I get
You weren't in,
yeah,
and you got people on his Instagram laughing at me that I've never even
You've
met.
been, yeah. Oh wow.
So, but
yeah.
you know,
Keep that to a
it's
minimum.
it's a slow process.
Staying authentic to yourself, tangible, realistic,
Yeah.
knowing what you can give
Yeah.
and knowing what you're willing to give.
Yeah,
And not comparing to others as well.
I think
you know?
another way of moving forward from like your depressions and your stuff like that is being honest.
I get
You
you.
gotta be honest.
And like
Transparent.
here now, this is my personal life. I got no problem in talking about it because I'm not gonna let that hold me hostage.
Yeah.
And that's what people do. They let it
Yes.
hold them hostage. Me, you're not pulling no cards out on me. Heard you was depressed. Oh, why, Joe, Jerome's gone low. Yo, I think he might be smoking crack. You know, one of them peeps. There's a lot of...
Why does it always morph to that?
Yeah.
Always go from,
It's not
oh, he's depressed.
well, I'm like, you could have said...
Depressed, man. He's just smoking the
He's
rock.
smoking crack.
Smoking crack.
You know what I mean? So you've just got to be transparent. I'm always willing to talk to people about depression.
Yes.
And going through depression as well, I'm able to identify when somebody
Yeah.
is going,
He's going
through,
through
it.
it.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? So it helps.
The
it
signs
helps.
are there, innit?
Gift and a curse and a
Yeah,
gift
yeah,
at the
yeah.
same time.
Yeah.
So do you think people have to have a readiness to get out of it though, or can you actually help people in that moment and
I
sort of
think
drag
you-
them through
Depends,
it?
innit? It depends.
Yeah.
It depends.
Some people want to lock away.
Yeah.
Some people you they don't want help and it's hard to help them. But there's some people that need a phone call.
Yeah.
Yo, Denzie, what you saying, bro?
Yeah.
You know what, Jerome? You're the first man to ring me since this has happened to me. Well, how are you? You're the first man to ask me how I am.
Really?
That's all it
There's
takes.
a big one, innit?
Bro,
Just
that's
how-
all it
yeah,
takes.
where you
How
at.
are you? How you? Like how when Denzie called me, yo, and he caught me in the thick of it. And I mean that, but I was happy to hear. Like we was happy to speak to him.
Yeah.
He gave me some other energy, and it was like, yo, he was like just being positive. Like, yo, we can do this. And I'm like, it's not about that. And then it made me feel like there was a goal again that I can.
Something.
And then me and him started linking up. We sat down, planned it out, made sure we knew what we both wanted. And then from the mistakes that I may have or may have not been through in the past with my old stuff, I didn't want to make that mistake again. So that, and we just made sure that we was both transparent enough and understood each other.
Why do you think it is so ripe in men in particular?
To
the mental health in general,
What,
the way we
just
talk to one another.
not speaking
masculinity.
about
Is it?
it is that. I think so.
Masculinity.
Yeah, I
Because
think
it's
so.
quite a known word, like the toxic masculinity together.
Yeah, I think so.
Could you break down what that looks like and what that means? And was that sort of apparent in your lives? Is it habitual from being young?
It's that's a difficult one because I think everyone's situation is different with that. With me personally, it was just being around guys that had that same mentality. Do you know what I mean? And my, and you get a lot of barbershop talk.
Yeah.
You're in
I
the
get
barbers
you.
every week, and
What
you
is it,
hear, you hear
girls?
about 25 different views in a barbershop about any topic.
I
Do
get
you know
you.
what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
just how it is at
Yeah.
our barbers. But yeah, I think my mind was just that mindset of growing up. The people that I was around, the elders that I was.
thing is
around,
as well,
they were all like,
but remember, it's the
you can't
area
cry,
as
man,
well.
you got to show that you're
Yeah.
tough.
Remember, we're from Radford.
Yeah,
so
and it was like we
it's
did
your
martial
area
arts
as
and
well.
Yeah, it was just like, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it
you're
was
around
just
a lot of, and then, when we was
You
younger,
had to be tough, man.
you had to be tough.
You had to be like, you had to be
But
about it,
there was like there was a lot of gangs and stuff
get you,
in our time. Like there was real gangs and real stuff was happening. So you kind of you're not that you want to be that way inclined, but you kind of see it and you think that that's the kind of way that you should
And I
be.
got to sort of survive this. as
Yeah,
well.
and
It's weird because that was like early 90s, I would say. That's when Nottingham was
Fire.
nicknamed
Yeah.
Shottingham, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was shootings all the
happening.
time and this, that, and the
Yeah.
other. The maddest thing is when we had the sound system, when we created Uniques, that was
you was a part of Uniques. I never knew that. Am I going crazy?
you wasn't crazy.
Why?
Because Uniques was my sound. Like,
What?
These
Yeah.
are very beautiful
Bro,
moments.
I don't look at me like that. Like,
yeah, bro. We started
You
that.
need a
Wow.
long phone
We
chat.
started that. We started that to put an end to all the beefing in the areas, bro.
well, at least I knew who it was.
Because we had
Yeah.
man from St. Anne's,
Yeah.
we had 2 man from Meadows,
Mm,
we had man from Radford and Lenton,
yeah.
all together
Wow.
as one musical group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it caused a lot of problems. We were good. Like, our sound was good. When we came through, and then we had links to Jamaica, and we got Dubs, and I went out there, and I was out there for a minute, and then I came back with a load of records and stuff like that, and we were hot, man. But the problem was, the 2 man from Meadows, shout out to Maka, shout out to Darren, yeah?
See.
They wasn't the problem.
Yeah.
They never were. But the people surrounding them
Yeah.
was the problem.
Real deal,
Because
isn't it?
and it was the same with us.
Yeah.
Like, we were never the issue, but the people around us were like, yo, why have you got them man from
Yeah.
us in your side? And
get
it's
you.
like, well, they're not involved in the nonsense that you lot are all involved
Yeah.
in. These are just man that live in the area.
Can't explain that.
And
man.
I've pretty much talent scouted them
Yeah.
because
They're
they're
talented.
damn good.
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
damn good at what they do.
Yeah.
And I've invited them to join our collective so we can try and put an end to this bullshit which is going off between all the areas.
Yeah.
And it caused problems for all of us. At the beginning part, I was getting rushed out of Meadows, and they were coming to Radford, and they were getting rushed out of Radford, and so we had to make a mutual place for us to go and play. So we had X Club in town. Back in the day, so we used to do like a Saturday afternoon rave. Check what 16-year-olds are putting on Saturday afternoon raves in the middle of town. That's what we was doing every week. Every week, it'd be like 12 till 6.
So what sort of changes were you seeing from doing all these incredible things?
Do you know
in the
what? There was
community?
no change. It was just too much, man. It was
thick.
too much.
It
It
was
was
thick.
too much. We managed. We got big to the point where we would started playing adult parties and adult dancers. We'd be at Marcus and we'd be with flipping like Success or V Rocket will be there, and we're playing a set You know what I'm saying, in this dance, and it's like we're kids.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there was just too much tension between the areas at that time. There was just too much tension between the areas, so it was
irredeemable.
It was
went
it
too
just
far.
wasn't- Yeah, and we really all wanted to make it work, but the people around us from our respective areas were never going to let it happen when we played somewhere, because there was always, you know what I mean?
Has there ever
There's
been a
always gonna
moment
be people.
in the timeline where it
Yeah.
has been accepted? Is it going in a better direction now?
Because
It's
we thought
always
in the 90s that this thing between like the areas was new, and it wasn't. My brothers would be like, mate, this has been going on for 20 years before you lot was
Really?
even
Yeah.
born."
It's just
saying
all so
one of them.
tribal and animalistic.
It's
Yeah.
just been like that, and like
Yeah.
now, I don't know now because
I
I'm
think
older. It's weird.
I want to know
All
now,
those
yeah.
guys from those rival areas, we are. I speak to them like we never even had an issue, and we didn't.
Yeah.
Really, it was just because of
But
the
it's like it
area
never
thing.
happens.
Yeah.
But
You treat us as humans.
do you know what I'm
now.
saying?
Like a phase.
Yeah, and I've always rated certain man from
Yeah,
Meadows because I used to play football
Yeah,
with
yeah,
them.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
shout out to Richard Cloughy and Danny and all them man.
Yeah, yeah.
Them man could all play ball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
Them man could all play football, and because I
This
was
is
all
like
about
World War II
football.
time. Can you remember
Yeah,
the game of
and because I
football?
was
Yeah.
all about football, I didn't care what area you was from.
Yeah,
Like we're
yeah.
playing in the
Play.
same team, so I didn't care that after this you go back to Meadows and I go back to Radford or whatever, or you go back to St Anne's. I'm not bothered. Like when you're here, we're cool. So I don't understand why that can't continue outside of this.
Yeah.
And I think now, the older you get, you just start to thinking, oh my god,
I've got the same
that was
energy
all-
for that.
That was all bullshit, man.
Yeah.
Back in the day, wasn't it? It was just like, how you doing anyway? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, it was like, oh, that was all bullshit. That was, how you doing?
Yeah.
How's the kids? It was like,
Do you have any
mad?
ears into what is happening now? Is it gone in
think
any
it's a
which
lot more-
direction?
it's-
Listen, yeah, not really. I think when I came out of youth work, I was very much tuned in. I was very much tuned in when I was working with youngsters. Now I just get it from like my daughters, and
Just letting
her
you know what's
friends
going
and,
on.
and my nephews.
Yeah.
They just fill me in and what's going off. At
To be honest, I don't entertain like.
I don't entertain it, to be
you
fair.
know, I know. I'm just saying,
but-
like, I don't entertain
Yeah.
it. I don't go looking for it. I'm not interested, and you know, I just kind of switch off from it.
What,
So
Yeah.
what are some of the best techniques to help within these sort of communities? Do you think it is these sort of projects and community projects going off that?
Do you know what? The community projects absolutely 100% help, because we didn't have them when we was growing up. We only had like youth centres. We had Tennyson Hall, John Carroll, Boys Club.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We had those. But then as we kind of hit, and we used to go there from like a young age, but when we hit like 17, 16, between 16 and 18, I know Tennyson Hall closed down, and that was a problem for us. That was a problem.
Really?
Sense that, yeah.
We didn't have nowhere to go.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna lie, crime went up. I know it did. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It did between that age. It did, because people
else
didn't
you
have
gonna
any. What else you gonna do?
Yeah, the
Youth
youth
club's
centres
not
are
there anymore.
important.
And
Yeah.
Tennyson Hall was a huge place. A huge place, and we could do everything there. We could have parties there.
Yeah.
You could play football in there. You could play table tennis,
Yeah.
pool,
Yeah.
whatever. You know
Everything.
what I mean? Like there was little skating, like
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
if you can remember, down, bottom bit. It was like a concrete kind
Yeah.
of floor, like all smoothed off, and you could
Yeah.
have been like
Yeah.
roller skating down there. It was an amazing
But
place.
on the upside, respectfully, you still got a few places like you take ones
now,
and CRSs.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Now it's brilliant
lot
because
more.
they are really catering for what young people are into.
Yeah.
Obviously music, so there's a couple of music studios.
Yeah.
Obviously I love what they've done down at Sneinton with all the old hangers, the units now. I know the university's got a lot of stuff going on there,
Yeah.
like fashion wise,
Yeah.
but some of it's open to the public as
Yeah.
well. So
Oh, yeah.
do you know what? It's,
So
there is a lot of
respectfully,
Respect.
shout out to CRS and take
Yeah,
one.
shout
Yeah,
out to
okay.
CRS and Take One, man, because they have been for years. No, for years.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
For years, them man have been doing
They helped
good
a
stuff
lot
with
of
young people. They've helped a
Listen,
lot
if it wasn't
of young
for
people.
if it wasn't
Yeah.
for Take One, I wouldn't have gone on fire. I wouldn't
Yeah,
be on
trust
fire
me.
in the booth.
Mate.
And Courtney, Big Trev.
I want to get into that. Little anecdote the other day in Ripley. So you're in the sticks now. You're out the way in the middle of no man's land.
Yeah.
And the kids have
farm.
got such little ambition.
Yeah, yeah.
Really, you know, we have got our estates. We've got our rough areas.
Yeah.
This is where don't want to say it, but you know, Hina, Ilkeston, Ripley, it's where like the EDL branch from. It's where the BMP branch from. So it's small town mindsets, and there's a lot of struggles in there. I saw these kids the other day. They were just on the park, and they were playing what you were saying there on the little court. And the PCSO, is it PSCO?
Flashlight coppers.
You got, come on.
Mate, what are you doing?
It was wild. Yeah, that's a good face.
Flashlight coppers.
Make sure you're watching this. Make sure you're watching this on YouTube, guys.
I'm not. It's nothing to do with me. Yeah, this ain't.
No,
if you see him, arrest him, not me.
It was wild. I was on there with my daughter and little 1-year-old just out the way.
Yeah.
And they were legitimately just playing football. Yeah. And the PSCO,
PCSOs.
YMCA.
See how he knows?
They told them to
Why
get
do you
off.
know?
Do you want me to tell you why I know?
You used to be one, didn't
No!
Oh, God.
Don't you dare say that.
Officer Ricky.
PCSO.
Shut up. No,
Mason.
he's not. Is he?
There's a
Wow.
PCSO. But
Shout out to you, bro.
Shout out.
Because they're not all wankers.
No.
Only the ones that
They're
I've
not.
worked, only worked when I
I've
was working
seen
with
some
some ones.
yeah,
I've-
yeah.
And
And
I've come across some right
Do you
idiots.
know what?
Yeah.
My best friend in the whole universe is a copper.
Yeah.
And,
got
you know,
a few.
I've had
I've got
a...
a few.
Yeah,
I've got a few
I've had a
friends.
mindset of coppers
I have,
before.
yeah.
I've had treatment by coppers before.
Yeah.
People are just
Human
good
beings,
and people
yeah.
are bad,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
there's very much nuance in every way.
That's
But
it.
what I was just saying, I couldn't believe it because there were probably 10 of them, all playing football. They got asked to move on, because she thought it was a basketball court or whatever. She shouldn't be playing football on it. It's like, why are you going out,
Why are
your,
you
way
going out your way
to
to
just
destroy their
cause
fun?
a
Like, what would you-
nuisance?
Boredom.
It was wild.
Boredom.
Would you rather they were robbing asses?
And that's you
Exactly.
can't win.
Well, that's
You
what,
can't win.
When
Can't
you were
win.
saying that then,
Yeah.
it was like burning in me. I was
Yeah.
like, I can't believe I saw that moment the
Yeah.
other day occur.
Boredom.
Let them play.
Yeah.
Let them
Boredom.
do what they're doing.
Yeah.
And
Because
it-
I would rather they was doing that than
so,
Out on the
doing
roads and
nonsense.
doing
Yeah,
some,
of
so,
course.
like, I want to get you guys down here. We were saying just before the podcast
Yeah.
about doing a bit of a project or working with the young people in the community.
What do they
would
like
you-
doing though? But what?
Well, tonight we've
think
got
to know to get to know what their general interests are.
got a
Then we
cartoon-
can cater for
we've
that.
got a
Yeah.
cartoonist coming.
Yeah.
And we've got a poet come. My background's poetry.
Yeah.
It all comes under an umbrella.
Spoken
doesn't
Yeah,
it?
word.
Yeah.
Rap.
Yeah,
rhythm and poetry.
spoken word. Yeah, man.
So we've got them doing that. We've had much, Motor Mouth.
Yes.
From
He
Not
beatboxes,
Said-
right?
Beatbox,
Yeah.
Motor Mouth. We've had him come down a bit beatboxing.
Seen him on one of your episodes.
We've had the hula hooper. We've had a bit of everything, and that's
Where did they come? Here.
yeah. We do it on the bus.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is this you? Is this
Our space.
your
yeah.
space?
Yeah. I live on this farm. So
Right.
It's a family-run farm, but
Right.
yeah, my path into creativity blossomed quite later on. I lost a friend to a knife crime incident. It was totally unprovoked attack. It was in Derby. I was in South Africa at the time, and I got a phone call from my dad. And like we've said on this podcast, we'd never as men really share emotion.
Yeah.
And it was the first time my dad spoke to me. He was like, "Oh, dude, I got something to tell you," and hit me hard in that way. And I was always told dyslexic, so I never wrote a thing.
Right.
But while I was out in South Africa, I was working in a primate sanctuary, looking after monkeys, and I was doing observations of them. So I took the day off, and I just started writing for the whole day. I never wrote, but I was just like, I need to get this out. And it come out as rap, really. It come out as poetry and rap. And then I felt like I got a superpower. I
Right.
was like, this is incredible.
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
never been
yeah.
given this weapon before. So then I was writing about everything I've been sad at and all my painful experiences. And that was it. I never wanted to be here because there was nothing to do. Literally, you know, out in the sticks.
Yeah.
I can talk about loneliness. I can talk about really feeling alienated.
Yeah.
Another side of the story is, being from quite a racist background. My granddad actually immigrated from Persia. Nobody knows that, but
Wow.
he was a doctor
Right.
and came over. So when people are in school and they're talking this really strange racist nature, I'm like, but all my family, I won't actually be alive without having somebody immigrate over. So I felt lonely anyway. And writing was the first time in my life I thought, I've got something. I've got something here. I've got a passion.
Yeah.
So then I came and performed to my dad when I got home. And it's the first time I've ever seen a man-to-man. He cried his eyes out.
Yeah.
I was
Touching.
like, so
Yeah.
ever since then, I've been on the same mission as you guys. I just want to get young people infused. I want to get them passionate. I want them to know that there is a life outside of this, and this.
Yeah, yeah.
Infinite ways. There's so many possibilities, and we just need to find a passion or a purpose. It could be carpentry, it could be plumbing, it could be anything.
Yeah.
But I just want to show them loads of little snippets and seeds of what is possible and capable. And that's why I like getting people that have been and done it, seeing it all, and can come and report about what the options are. So I'm really passionate about this place. Like we're working with a council now. It's the first time the council have ever touched upon anything like this. So it's all new.
Do you know what? That's a great start.
Yeah.
That you've got a council involved, because you need that backing, because you are going to need. You can't use your space forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Eventually, it's going to start to grow. You are going to need a bigger space, and to have that someone like that backing you,
It's a good start, isn't
it's a
it?
very, very good start. That is a very, very good start.
After this, I'm going to keep in touch.
Yeah, of
I'm
course.
going to help you out with whatever you're on with, but I'd love to get you back down and doing a few more things. So
Yeah.
you say you work with, was it 11 to 18?
11 to 18s, yeah.
Really good range.
Yeah.
So what are you finding through the ages? Is 11 just trying to sort of grasp?
To be fair, a lot of the time we didn't, because we had because it was a residential setting, so we're basically getting kids that are either coming in on remand, or we're getting kids that are what we call a Section 20, where they kind of half belong to the state and half belong to their parents, kind of thing. It's like a shared responsibility.
Yeah.
But they would live with us. So a lot of the time we would get more 13 upwards. The young ones were very, very rarely coming to unless it was kind of an emergency kind of placement where we might have them for 1 or 2 nights, but it was very, very rare. It was just because of the age group. We kind of pretty much like to, at the time, we like to match what age was in the home. Do you know what I mean? Because of influence and stuff. If you've got a, you know, sometimes you'll have a 13-year-old girl in there and there's a 16-year-old lad.
I get you.
That could be a problem.
Complications in there.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because she's at that age where she's feeling quite promiscuous. She's just a horny teenager anyway. And you got to monitor that situation all the time. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, difficult.
Did you do like sleeps and stuff?
Yeah,
as
the
well?
sleep-ins, man.
So I was doing that as well.
Yeah, the
PCSS.
sleep-ins. Yeah.
It's like residential care. So
residential
when you go
care.
and work there's times where you will do
a sleeping shift.
you have to
It's
do
like a 24-hour shift.
24
Stay
hours.
over.
It's 24 hours.
Yeah.
And
You'd have a night watch.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a.
So you would go sleep and then your night wake will be.
But if
be
it kicks off, which it has done, when I've been on a sleep,
Really?
mate, it's kicked off, and the woman who was on the wake, you got to so and so's locked up. He's in police station. You got 2 o'clock in the morning in a taxi. Boom, you got to go and pick him up.
Oh mate, I've got some stories on that one.
Yo, gosh,
Really?
that's another
Do you know
episode.
what's funny? Actually,
This
that
is
we're
another
talking about
episode,
this. I was literally about to say, in the years that I've worked in residential, I've never really had any issues on when I've done a sleep-in. Never.
I've only had
There was a couple of incidents, and it was weird.
Yeah.
I've had a young girl find me on Facebook that I looked after in care, and she was a bit of a nightmare, but I understood because she had
someone there.
She had a lot of issues
Yeah,
as well.
see,
Do you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
she had a
yeah.
lot of issues. So we understood the
Yeah,
behaviour at the
But
time.
you get a
though.
lot of the kids that will
Yes.
confide in you,
Yeah.
especially like him being how he is and me being how I am.
Weird, but she sent me a really nice message, bro.
Yeah.
Sent me a really nice message, like saying, you know what, I'm doing really well. She's got a kid, working, and she's like saying, I just wanna say thank you for all your support.
What do you think that support was then? Was it just
Because we were there, man. Like,
Interest.
I was different. I was never a person that would. When I first started working in residential, I would always read their risk assessments.
Yeah,
And then I
you
stopped.
gotta, yeah,
And then I stopped reading them. I stopped reading them because I was like, I want to get to know you as a person, regardless of what you're in for, and I don't want to prejudge.
That's a good way to do it.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I love that.
Because going to work with,
you've got to read. Sorry, you've got to for each child that you're in care with, you've got to read. It could be that thick.
It
could be there in about 3 hours.
It could be.
Yeah.
And I'll give you one. I got given. I can't say a name.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
I can't, and I'm not.
Are you sure you're
I can't, and I'm not going to say a name.
Yeah.
But I had what was considered one of the worst kids in Nottingham. Yeah, female, and when she got to us. When she got to us, I remember all the stuff that I'd known of her, never worked with her, but known of her, were like bricking themselves. They were like, "Oh shit, man, she's coming here, and she's fucking glassed someone at this house, and she's put she's put another staff member in hospital and this, that, and the other, and whatever. You know, when she came in, right, I knew straight away that she was wild. But you know what it is with these kids? If they don't want to be in a certain place, they will make it hell for the staff.
Yep.
Right?
Facts.
And you've just got to have that about you to think, to kind of pre-think, you know, I know she's calm now.
Yeah.
But I know she's going to...
Got it.
I need to know what the triggers are.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I need to know what the triggers are. But she was on tag anyway, bro. 7 till 7. But with her, she just... In the evening, she was okay. I think she tried to test the boundaries a bit. But we had a lot of strong staff members at our home. Strong staff members. You know what I mean? So it was like... But we all kind of had the same mindset where we was like, we're not just gonna onto her and go, right, these are the rules and right, you've got to do this and you've got to do that. I was thinking that's the worst thing you could do for someone who's literally just stepped through the door.
They
You
don't
can't
go with
just
rules
like, yo,
and the
let them
bureaucratic.
settle. So we'll take him to the shops and be like, yo, there's your local shop.
Yeah.
Here's your bus stop.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And you
this,
know
that, and
what?
the other.
Off of what he just said as well, you'll find, and believe it or not, not saying any names or anything, but you'll find that a lot of carers don't care.
Yeah. They
Yeah,
don't.
no,
they don't.
Yeah, I
bro,
trust
they
you. I
don't.
know, I know.
I was shocked.
We used to get me and a couple of other of like some of the workers. Yeah, we could strike up a rapport with the kids and use different methods doing so. And I felt like some of them didn't like it because they thought, oh, they're just like smooching up to the kids. And I'm like, no, man, like you need to understand. I remember a situation I had with this kid real quick before we wrap up on this one. Yeah, I got to the home, and I was new to the home.
Yeah.
So I'm the new staff member to this home, and I've got to ring this kid up to do his daily, his whatever. And I'm like, yo, bro. I'm just like, yo, just checking in. My name's Ray. I've started working today.
Yeah.
And my man was like, check him. He went, yo, why are you rude? Like, yo, why do you sound like you're a black guy from Rude? This is what he says to me. This is what he said. Right? No, this is what he said. So I was like, oh, okay. Weren't expecting that. And I was like, yo, I'm just checking in anyway. Make sure you're all right. What time are you coming back? And I says, I'll holler at you later. Yeah. So it was calm. So my man comes back to the home, innit? Sees that I am black. Yeah. So like instantly he was like, oh. We've never had someone like you work in this home before. Like there was another black staff member, but he was management and older. Do you know what I mean? So I've come in now like dressing all like I'm young and whatever, this, that, and the other. So I got chatting to him and I was just like, yo, I was like, yeah, man, I just wanted to ring you earlier on, innit? And I was just like, but I'm saying, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really like your response, you know. And he was like, no, but sometimes he went, no disrespect, man, no disrespect.
Yeah.
But me and him, dude, we did have a really rocky relationship, like for a bit, because it was weird. Obviously, I weren't talking to what he was in for, but it weren't like nice according to his risk assessment. And he did say to me when I got to know him a bit better as a person, I think after 6 months, he wanted to have a chat to me, and he went, "Do you know why I'm in care?" And I went, "Yeah." And I was like, why'd you ask me that? And he was like, because you're so safe with me.
Yeah. You haven't treated him any
That's
different.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Do you know what I mean? And this is why I don't read that. I know what he's in for.
Yeah.
Or allegedly in for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's bad.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Do you know what I mean? It's bad, which is why he was kind of shocked that I deal with him the way that I deal with him. And again, years later, I think he got in touch with me last year and found me on Facebook, and he was like, mate, I don't live in Nottingham anymore. I live down south. I've got 2 kids. I've got a great job. I'm doing really, really well, and this, that, and the other. And he was just like, he goes, I've looked everywhere for you, because it's like saying, I know I never used to listen to you. I know I never used to listen to you at the time of the home, but he says, you don't understand how much you've taught me.
It give me goosebumps.
You know what I'm saying?
Angel!
Bro,
I told you.
I
Angel.
got goosebumps
Angel.
because I hated that fucking job near the end.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah,
hated the job.
Yeah.
I hated the job, and I'm like, I'm gonna fucking kill one of these kids.
Yeah.
In a minute. Pardon my language, Mason. But I was like, I'm gonna kill one of these kids in a minute. Do you know what I'm saying? Because
Mate,
it was getting to me. But to have that come back,
You got something back.
I've had now 2 young
was it,
people.
just
In
the
fact,
disrespect,
I've had
or-
three young people that have managed to find me. And say what they said, to say, look, you really look like, I felt like you really cared, because I just says to them, you know, like the girls, I was like the protective bigger brother when we had a female in, and if they had like a boyfriend that was like a bit of a dick, I'd be like, yo, me and my colleague, man, we will go see my man, you know, like, do you know what I mean? Like, joking around and stuff.
Yeah.
And they used to like it because they felt protected.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, they felt, I mean, it was just a different approach.
Yeah,
It was just a different kind of approach. We'd be like, yo, just see us like, we're like your bigger brothers, innit?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, man, if you're going to go to, because this particular girl, her boyfriend, didn't like the fact that we would take the kids out and take them to Alton Towers and stuff. And I was like, why is he being an idiot? Why don't he want you to go out? Oh, we don't want to go out because of me and my colleague Ben. And I'm like, why? Insecure. Because we're quite young, and well, we're not even young, we're like grown man. Like, you're the young one, like we're grown men. But because we can chat to the young people on a level, on a certain level, they like to hang out with us.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And we're always willing to take them places and take them out and take them to town and take them to play pool or take them wherever. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, we love that kind of stuff, man. But yeah, to get something back from them after all these years,
it's
brilliant,
stunning,
man.
isn't it? Have you had a similar
Really good.
response, Fif Nova? Have you had people that have gone back to you and said, do you know what? I needed you in that moment.
Well, we're not. He's got such a great story. Not as responsive. I mean, I had when I went to the first house that I worked at. I had a teenage boy in there, had a girl in there as well. I mean, the very first day when I was reading the risk assessment, the girl was ripping out her hair in front of her, and I was like, she was like, she. I think what had happened is they get like set money a week, and because she'd effed it up, she wasn't entitled to it. So I was like sat there reading the risk assessment. She's pulling out her hair. I was like, wow. Okay, is that supposed to be happening? And the girl who was running the house, her name was Christy. She was like, don't worry about it. This is what they do all the time. I'm like, okay. But like Denzie was saying earlier, the dynamics can change when they only see a certain type of person come in there. For example, I think I was one of the only black guys to come in there. And you'll find a lot of the teenagers are into black stuff. You know, like
the culture, and
the culture, and
music, the way they dress,
and that's it. And it works. It works in terms of you making a connection, and sometimes you just gotta show interest. Like one of the guys, I won't say his name, he was heavily into rap music, and I'm talking when he first met me, he was. He was quite distant, and I was like, yo, what kind of music do you like? He's like, rap, why? And I'm like, oh, because I rap. And he went like that.
In the booth.
You know what I'm saying? And he was like, really? And I went, yeah, you can type my stuff on YouTube. And he went, you got stuff on YouTube? And I went, yeah.
Really? This is great.
And then we made a connection.
You don't even know how important that was and how integral that
I could
seed
tell,
was.
though. I could tell that some, no disrespect to people that work in care, but there's a lot of them that are just working for a check.
Yeah, I've got a very, very, very good friend of mine. No, I've got a friend who works in care for the last 20 years, maybe more. And he's seen the buses, he's been up and down here. And his want now is to get a bit of land, put either shipping containers or buses or something on it, and do his own care system, because he just said it's too flawed. There's too entrenched.
You know what it is? It's too entrenched within the structure of whatever council or private organisation.
It's just the bureaucracy.
A lot of the private ones, like my niece has got her own private organisation. It's called Nevea Homes. And she's trying to. She is definitely changing that outlook. I worked there for a little bit when she opened up one of her latest homes. I says I'll help her open up. You know what I mean, and be a staff member there and whatever, and kind of do the day-to-day management of it. And do you know what? Their outlook on things was brilliant. Just really, really good. Because she created her own kind of. Program for girls that are being sexually exploited,
and it's not box ticking.
Mate, it was. Do you know what? And I'm so glad that she's doing like so well. She's getting more homes now, and between her and her partner Beth, they've got quite a few homes between them now. Do you know what I mean? And she's got, like, my brother works there, my nephew, my sister-in-law. She's, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a nice family ran, like organisation, which is cool. And I just want more organisations to kind of follow that lead and break that break that mold of that old tired structure that we've worked
I find that
we
in
know it don't
all
work.
systems.
Yeah,
Look
it's
at
a
the
very
education
it is a
system.
bit
Oh, yeah,
flawed.
yeah.
You see things
You know?
propping up now. Even tonight, we've got all the kids come in. We've probably have 30 odd, and it's a completely new set of skills
Yeah.
that they're going to
Yeah.
find. And it's just not that retaining information. You come here, sit in a class. You're going to do really well because you can remember stuff, and you
Yeah.
who is just misunderstood and flamboyant
Yeah.
or creative or whatever. You're not going to do well, so we're going to call you the naughty one or the
Yeah.
problem child,
Yeah.
and these we're going to let through. I think the world's changing.
So we never
I
had
really
that.
do.
We never had that when we was coming through school. If you was a bad kid, then okay, yeah, you'd get your detention, you'd get your suspensions, and sometimes expelled.
Let's not go there.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Not go there.
Is that another episode?
I think
Yeah, that's
now,
that's a whole different.
I think
episode.
now they've got these whole other schools just for problem kids. And I'm
Yes.
just like,
Yeah,
Wrong.
yeah,
It
it
I'll
shouldn't
give you
be
that.
like that
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's just like you're so
Isolating.
quick
Yeah,
to
yeah.
slap a label on them
Yeah.
and isolate them
Yeah.
within working with them for 5 minutes.
Yes.
So, that kid's acted up. Right, isolation. Right,
Yeah.
you don't need to come to school anymore for the next 3 days. You're going to be working from that building with the other bad kids. And I'm like, mate, have you even asked to think yourself why he's the way he is?
Yeah.
You've not even probably sat down 10 minutes with him and gone, yo, is everything all right at home? Is anything you're struggling with?
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have you even you got to ask yourself as the adult, as the guardian, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In that situation, have you done enough?
Yes.
Like, have you even done enough for that child? Or is it, right, that's another one gone, boom.
Easy
That's another
work.
one gone, boom.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel sorry for social workers, and I feel sorry for anybody that works, like with social workers especially, they get such a hard time and they get rinsed, yeah? But I've worked on the side where I'm with the kid that's not seen their social worker
Yeah.
for 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, oh, why does my social worker don't give a fuck? And this, that, and I've sat down with them and I've gone, let me keep it real with you. You're not the only kid that your social worker's got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, really? They'll be like, mate, your social worker, I know for a fact, has got 10
Yeah.
kids. And you're not all in Nottingham. You're everywhere. You're in Scotland, you're
Yeah.
in Wales, you're in Bristol.
Yeah.
You're everywhere.
all over the
You're
place.
shipped all over the place. And because he's still looking after you, or he's either getting you back to Nottingham where these kids are, he can't see you all in one day. And I'm like saying, that's what it is. I says, it's a messed up situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But because I know the numbers, and I
Yeah.
think you should know.
Yeah.
You should know.
Yeah.
So then you cannot be frustrated
Yeah.
that he doesn't see. At least you're ready
It's-
to know that he's not going to see you for
It
2
comes
months
back
or
to
a
that,
month.
just having really honest conversation.
Yeah.
Honest
Yeah.
conversation.
Even in school, when I hated maths, for example. I got expelled out of my school as well. We could have a great chat about that. But
Yeah.
I was just a cheeky boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, if the teacher, instead of just saying do it, and I go, why?
Yeah.
And he doesn't give me a why, that really
Annoyed you.
infuriated
Reaction.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if he just said, listen, Mikey, I don't think this might work for you down the line. You probably won't use algebra, let's say, for
Yeah.
example. But if you can learn this and you can pass this, this is a door opens here. And we've had an honest conversation where he said, I understand why you're frustrated, but this is why you're frustrated. If you can get through it, though, this is what can happen.
Yeah.
Beautiful conversation. And then I'll be a little bit more ready for that engagement with that person, because he's been real with me, he's been an adult with me, but they would just scream at me and tell me just do it. And if I think something's unjust or doesn't make sense to me,
then you're hopping it.
I'm the other way around.
Yeah.
To
When it's
true
unjust.
Taurus,
Yeah.
When it's unjust, and you just think, you know what? You could have easily resolved the situation just by telling me the why.
yeah.
Yeah.
Find,
But you
find
didn't.
me a why.
You didn't.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
You didn't find me a why. Now it's a whole thing.
This is lads.
know what I mean?
Chaos.
For your podcast, are you gonna? Because there's so much dynamics in both of you. You've got so much you could talk about in so many worlds, which is so beautiful. Are you gonna pick a topic and then just vibe off of that, or are you gonna let it be sporadic and?
I think it should be sporadic anyway. But we're never ever gonna. I think what you have to do is you have to break it down into a series.
Yes.
So it could be, we might do 6 episodes of, the
music
and,
industry.
Yeah, and me and Lee, we spoke about doing it like this kind of structure where I was saying to Lee, look, I would like to do, because I want to cover so many topics, like I was saying at the beginning.
I wanna hear it
I like
all from you.
football
I've
and
been
stuff like that. So I was like, we should do a series. So I wanted to do a series where, like on my gigs and stuff, just interview a couple of artists backstage.
Definitely.
So that would have been like, you know, a garage episode.
Yeah.
And there'd be 4 or 5. You know what I mean? That'd be a
Yeah,
garage
yeah.
season, sorry.
Yeah.
And then there'll be like 4 or 5 episodes. Then we can talk about different, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The
Another
mental
topic.
health element.
Exactly.
Education
system, anything. And there'll just be a couple of episodes within that. So it's all kind of structured.
Yeah.
You go on the channel, you can go, all right, okay, what do I want to... Oh, there's a couple of episodes on
Mental health.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Let me click on
I'm
that.
genuine. I'm buzzing for it.
Yeah,
I think you've
it'd be
got
cool.
the right attitudes and you balance each other out perfectly. It's such a good recipe. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, man.
Genuinely.
yeah.
Do you like the boxing? Are you bothered into boxing?
I'm
Well,
a
Do you know what?
I'm
I
a
do
UFC.
like my boxing.
I'm a big boxing
I
fan.
do like my boxing.
I've just got to ask you, what do you think to the latest sort of YouTube trend with boxing?
See,
and
I
where you
don't
at
know,
with it?
man. I don't know how I feel about it.
Do you know
weird,
what?
Because it's like... Because it kind of all started with...
Jake Paul.
Paul.
yeah, Jake Paul and
Was
that,
it
innit?
KRS?
KSI.
KSI. Go on,
yeah.
Mikey.
Yeah, them
That-
two. It started from then. That was a couple of years ago, their fight now. It was about 3
That
years
was
ago, wasn't it?
probably 3 or
4
4.
years.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
definitely.
think about it?
I want to know.
I'm a
don't
massive...
know.
Wait, hang on.
I
I'm a
don't know.
massive fan. Entertainment's entertainment. You either watch it or you
Or
don't.
you don't. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if they're making money, good for them.
Yeah, yeah.
If a UFC fighter goes and fights Jake Paul and they make more than what they make in the UFC, good for them.
Do what you do.
Yeah.
Do what you do, what you want. We're all gonna watch it.
Yeah, we're all going to watch
It's
it.
all
You know
stupid.
what?
Of course we are.
People say it's stupid.
I know.
It's a mockery to boxing.
But they still watch it.
Do you know what, mate? You've got probably one
But
of
they
the
still
best
watch it.
attitudes I've ever heard of it, and you've actually, just from the smallest thing then, meta-programmed and retuned how I look at it, because it's true. I'm definitely going to watch it.
Yeah.
I probably won't pay for it.
No.
I'll find a cheeky...
Come on now.
I'm not paying for it,
No.
but
No, I'm not paying for it.
I'm very interested to know
Yeah.
how it goes down, and
Yeah.
it's sort of like
Yeah.
you saying about earlier with Love Island.
Yeah.
It's an experiment for
Just
me.
entertain. But the thing
I
is,
wanna know-
every celebrity, YouTube versus boxer thing that comes out, me and my son always go and watch it.
It is
because it's
interesting, yeah.
let me watch it and see how good he was or he wasn't. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, it's true.
It's
And
not going to change my
I'll
life.
tell you one thing now, though. It's happened so much, especially with this. Is it Logan Paul, the guy?
Both of them.
And I think he's
Jake Paul.
really
Both of them, innit?
incredible.
Yeah.
Jake Paul, he's the one
Yeah.
that's been smashing it the most at the minute.
Yeah.
And it's very understood that he's actually very athletic. From his teens, he's been engrossed in sport,
Yeah.
in whatever sport, and now with all the money he's got,
Yeah.
since probably 50 and so on, he's been working with the best boxing trainers in the universe of the sport. There's so many late blossomers in boxing. Roberto Duran,
Yeah.
the Liston,
Yeah.
they got into it at like 23, 24, 25. He's that age.
Yeah.
So I think he's got some capabilities.
Yeah.
And
The
I'm
thing
kind
is-
of
Do you think he'll go pro?
interested.
Do you think he'll go pro?
The thing
That's
is,
what I want to
this
see.
is the
That's-
thing. This
I
is
wanna
the
see
thing,
box
yeah.
boxers now.
Don't let
he wants to
people
box Nova,
think
really.
like let's say people are calling him whatever they're calling him. Oh, this is a mockery or whatever. He's stupid or whatever. Don't allow people to think you can't do what you want. He wants to be a boxer, so he's doing what he wants. Yes, he's got a platform on YouTube and he's made millions of pounds, but you've still got to, when you open a door, you still got to walk through it.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
I
like
give
he's
you
just
that.
doing boxing
Yeah.
for a joke. He's taking it serious.
Yeah.
And
there's
if he wins,
a lot of lessons that can be learned from inside of that, and you can take away the bits you don't like. If it's
Yeah.
the cockiness and the
Yeah.
poor attitude that isn't really for me,
yeah.
I can
And that's what he
detach from
has.
that.
I think that's why I can't watch him.
It makes me
Which one's the
nervous
younger
seeing
one?
it.
I think it's Jake is the
Jake.
younger one.
Jake is the
I
younger
like
one.
Jake.
Logan-
The one that fought Tyrone Woodley.
Yeah, that's
It's
Jake.
Jake.
Yeah.
He makes me laugh. I can't lie. He's
He's a wild one. He's a wild one.
his face to
facial-
face,
Too
his
much for
face
me.
to face one
Oh,
on
that
ones.
stuff. Yeah, I get it. That's
He's
all
very
the
random,
entertainment,
and you
innit?
can't predict
It's a
what
bit
he's going
wild.
to do. His second fight with Woodley is
Yeah.
one on one.
That's
He got him. He got him a present.
Do you know the worst thing
Rolex.
that's ever happened to sport for me was the Askren versus Jake Paul, the first fight they had, Ben Askren.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't take it serious at all. You saw the shape he was going into the fight at. He looked awful. His
yeah.
muscle mass had gone. He's
Serious
clearly out of
game.
shape. But then it was just the whole spiel around it. Did you watch the night?
Nah.
Mate, it just doesn't suit boxing. I mean, I'm not for or against many things. I'm nuanced in the whole world of it.
Yeah.
But then when we've got Snoop Dogg, who I love to bits, but he's on the bill and he's just doing the weed side of things. It's fine, but then you've got a rapper coming on and saying "smack my whore, bitch." And all this, I'm just going.
Didn't seem right. The dynamics were.
There was 5% of actual sport in that night. I think I may be just sort of evangelical to this in sport and the boxing, but I did 6 bouts. And I just loved it because I was in a small gym, but there was a Marine in there. I got my ass handed to me so many times by a policeman. All these men that I looked up to. And they're all talking to me at a very young age, 15, 16, younger, about discipline, about respect, about all these honourable things. And that's my knowledge of boxing. And that's why I've become the person I am today is a massive catalyst behind that.
I got a question for you then.
Okay.
Your top 5 boxers of all time.
Oh, why are you doing this?
What?
What, across all weights?
It don't matter.
Can't be one weight.
It's your favourite, bro. Who's your favourite?
Wait, we've got Sugar Ray, we've got
We're going old
Tyson.
schools. Yeah.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It depends on your age,
Era.
Listen, bro.
era, and
Bro,
there's too many to mention, bro.
right now, if you was forced to name top
If I was
5,
forced
who's
to name
yours?
top 5 of all time, Ali number 1.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be in an order.
Okay, Ali number 1.
I mean,
Tyson's in the top 3. Tyson probably number
not
2.
Fury. We're talking.
Mike Tyson. Then Sugar Ray Leonard. Do you put Mayweather in there?
Yeah.
Then you've got your Sonny Listons
if
and
you're looking for the principle of
and your Sugar
not
Ray
get
Robinsons
hit in here,
and Sugar Ray Leonards and this.
What about yours?
Watson Ben.
This is what I'm saying.
Right.
Marvin Hagler.
Right.
Yeah.
To even mention this man's name. That's what I'm saying.
Listen to this, yeah.
Go on then.
We was talking about this on one of our episodes. I got slated for saying Nigel Benn.
Why?
Is in my
What was the?
bro,
Not
I
you,
got
Bank.
you
Not
know
you,
if you,
Bank. Not Chris.
bro, because I
Why Nigel
no, because
why
Ben,
Nigel over Chris?
I've got not even Chris. It's because I said Nigel Benn. The guy, you have to watch the episode,
okay.
But it was like, name your top 5. These lot were naming your Mayweathers and blah blah blah, and I says Nigel Benn, and it was like Nigel Benn. You put Nigel
What
Benn
was
in.
the backlash though? What was
It was just that he wasn't good enough, or and I was
The only
like,
thing is-
he's
Nah, it's not.
British.
And what age are these, man?
Yeah.
Are they your age?
Well,
Or are they younger?
right. Respectfully, Courtney's
Yeah.
how.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, you
Cool.
have
Oh, you see what I'm saying? It depends on how old you
but
are.
he should. It's whoever, innit?
You're gonna have, because like Courtney would know boxers that we probably don't know, that he knows were fire.
True.
Do you know what I'm saying?
True.
But we won't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's mad.
I mean, I like my football and thinking
Who do you
of-
support? Excuse me.
No, Arsenal.
Go on, you know.
Ah,
I let it.
yeah,
Liverpool. Well, are you?
I'm Liverpool.
Liverpool, yeah.
big.
Yeah.
But, mainly because me dad and I'm a '93 kid, but I was in the Highbury days and so on. And my dad's got me this shirt, and my dad without football just wouldn't be alive. It literally is his whole embodiment. Football.
Yeah.
He had to really struggle coming out of like them footballing days. So he's picked a team now, Arsenal.
Yeah.
But it's hard football without supporting somebody, isn't it?
How
I
you
just love
How
football.
you lot doing?
Yeah. But what?
Let's just say
Don't just leave it.
my gaffer is happy because he's a Forest fan, innit?
Oh,
So
mate.
I seen it last night.
It wasn't
Last
a
night.
pretty watch. I saw
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I seen it
But
last night.
the
It was
thing
joke.
is, when you're talking to Ben there, Arsenal, when we're thinking of the Invincibles or so on, and just that they pioneered a part of gameplay, didn't they?
Yeah.
It was really fancy and just beautiful to watch when you think of Barcelona and so on.
Yeah.
Ben pioneered this lawless wreck. I know
Rugged.
it was in the game, but
Yeah.
that was so beautiful to watch and just scary and powerful. And when it was coming up,
Because he was so raw as well.
raw. So
His attitude.
even though it's not the archetypal boxing technique,
Yeah.
I'm not mad at you for throwing his name in, by the way.
pissed off because
you have to put
I'm
him
not
in
mad
there.
at you for throwing his
pissed
name
off.
in. Yeah.
it's such a spectacle. It's something to watch, and it's the feeling it gave you, and that's what I mean about watching the Arsenal team when they pioneered something. He's built something here that was part of its time.
Yeah.
And then the Mike Tyson days.
Yeah.
And,
I mean,
mate,
I'm Nigel Ben, Prince Nazim.
dude, Nazim.
Look,
He's got to go in there.
Nazim.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No. It's so weird. Bro, it's like you've been at my yard in the last couple of months. I've watched all of these old fighters.
Right.
I've watched all of
yeah,
these.
YouTube.
I went through
Roy Jones.
and Nazim.
Yeah.
Like for a moment, I was like, he was flipping damn good.
Yo.
Yeah.
What I hated about Nazim is you've got to be able to back up all that cockiness.
Yeah.
So if you take a hit and you go down, I want to see you come back and beat that guy. That's what makes you a true champion.
I get you. I know
You
where
kind
you're
of
going.
fell off a cliff and then we didn't. You know what I'm saying?
The limelight
Ego.
got to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
an ego
I
thing.
think
But
he-
Barrera got to him.
Yeah,
Barrera got
Yeah.
badded him
That
up.
was real boxing.
Real boxing.
real boxing.
Badded him up, and I loved that Barrera did that to him because I felt
In the
like
style.
because I felt like Nazim needed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He needed
Humbling.
that.
It's a shame
he
he didn't
needed
come
a
back.
humbling. Yeah, he
Well,
needed
then
that
shame he didn't
humbling.
come
He
back.
shattered
Yeah.
him. He
It
didn't.
did.
It's
And that's
a shame.
what's disappointing. That was
Yeah.
like because I want you to be a great champion for the
and
UK.
He was.
And he flipping wussed out, man.
He was gonna go. Even if he took a loss,
Yes,
he
bro.
was still gonna be
He
great.
was still gonna be great.
He still was
Mate.
gonna be great.
Lads, will you come back?
Indeed.
Will you
I'll
do
defo
this
come
again?
back.
This
Indeed.
has been.
Yeah.
We're nearly over 2 hours.
Oh,
and I've got like other stuff I need to do.
Yeah, of
today.
course.
We'll do a part two.
Yeah, I've got to go and get all the bits and bobs for the kids.
Yeah,
But
me
we're
too.
over 2 hours.
too.
Can you just let everybody know, this camera here or that camera there, where do what you want.
Yeah.
Where they can see all your stuff. Everything that we've spoken
Well-
about, where they can find you.
Well, you can. Do you know what? You can,
Right,
just
you
follow,
go
you can
first.
follow my socials just on Insta. Do you know what? I'm like the worst person on Insta. I am terrible. Like I am on Insta and Facebook and stuff, but most people. So my IG is just Denzie DENZEE. You can just. I post stuff on there as well. You can have a look on the Monster Boy page if you're interested in what we're doing in terms of gigs. Have a look on there, and then
What about for young 17, 18-year-olds who've still kept in, want to hear that garage track?
Good question.
Right, do you know what? Spotify, man. Just go Spotify,
Spotify.
YouTube it.
What do they
Do you know
type
what?
in?
A lot of
what
the young people do. It's
Yeah.
weird because I've got a 16-year-old daughter and
yeah.
and it's mad because she's just like, oh, my mates are they're singing your tune. Like
Nice.
she said, I can remember she told me that there was when she was in school. She's left school now, but when she was in school, she was like saying, oh, I remember a couple of year 11s singing your song when I was there. I was probably about year 8 at the time.
Wow.
And
What's
I
good
was
about
just
that
like-
song is it belongs in all eras.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
crazy,
yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, did you
Timeless.
tell him that I was
Yeah.
your dad? And she was like, no. No, like, you're such a knob.
Yeah.
So what do they type in for that on Spotify?
Oh, just type in Monster Boy featuring Denzie.
Monster
I'm
Boy
sorry.
featuring Denzie.
If they want to hear that there, there's other Monster Boy stuff as well that they
Beautiful.
can
And
find. Yeah.
come on, Nova, where do people go? And we need to get you back to talk about the fire in the booth days.
Bro, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
if you want to see my stuff, I've got Instagram. It's Jerome Fif Nova Grundy. I think it's the same name on Facebook. I'm more on Insta than I am on Facebook.
yeah.
If you want to see my music, just type in Fif Nova on YouTube. If you want to see my fire in a booth, just type in Fif Nova on YouTube. You get all my videos. I ain't done a lot, but there's enough there.
Enough there to
and,
get
and going
chew
forwards,
into.
you will see us both hosting the
I'll be
Manarchy.
sharing the shit out of it.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
what you're doing. I'm so
Yeah.
I can see it in action now. I'm really looking forward to seeing how it develops over time, and I got a lot of faith in it. But I want you to come back here. And
It's
we're
gonna
do
do well. It's gonna do well. We're just working on some
you're
bits.
wicked humans. You're
Yeah.
all awesome.
This is gonna
people.
be your most viewed video.
I trust. Right, let me do my thing. I
Go.
talk to these and I say, guys, thank you so much for being here. This is the back of the bus sessions. I'm going to leave you on this. I always do. Be nice to one another, you beautiful set of buggers. Have a good day. Cheers, lads. Thank you so much.
Peace.
Taurus bus.